GhanaTalks Radio, let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues,
entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1. GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
Good morning to you lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. It's a beautiful brand new week and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. I am your host Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu and I'll be serving you breakfast with Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
The grace is sufficient.
Yes, Debbie. Oh, I'm fine.
As usual.
As usual.
Yeah.
We thank God. How was the Valentine? It
Exciting.
looks like Miss Regina is still celebrating Valentine.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
till end of February.
Hi. Miss Abby, where did we go?
Well, I went for a dinner night.
Huh?
Hey,
Yeah.
Is it
hey,
church?
with a man.
No, you
Clap.
asked me where I went to.
Okay,
I
where
went
did
to
you go?
church.
Oh
It
man.
was a dinner night organized at church.
For
You
singles.
told me.
For
Told me.
what? For singles and married couples.
So did you grab?
Grab what?
We don't do church dating.
I already have one, so why should I go and grab?
Miss. Miss, how did your Valentine go?
Oh, it was great.
was
I
great.
loved it. Yeah.
Hey, you loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
So people went out. You didn't invite me.
And my church also.
You know, we were preaching about this since last week. Regina was like, there was a program. I heard
Yes,
they
and I even said I'm the MC.
Me, the way I slept on Saturday,
really?
and it rained too.
So
Yeah.
you see, the weather and the day, you know.
Oh,
So God was setting a pace for the couples.
Like you
Oh,
get
I
it.
So enjoy the
I
cold
slept.
weather then.
I had a good day, you know. We like it. We that.
Yeah,
our
sure
husband.
you had a good
Oh
day.
yeah, I had a good day. Some of us, our own is at O, so you know we just had to
It's
sleep.
where?
It's at O.
Which was the meaning of O? You two, yours is at Ohio or Orlando, which is which?
Yeah, Vanessa. Right, let's dive into our major news items for this morning. Interpol delayed red notice against Ken Oforiatta over political concerns. The International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, has permanently removed a red notice issued against Ghana's former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Lawyers for the former minister announced on Friday that Interpol's oversight body, the Commission for the Control of Interpol's Files, CCF, had officially deleted the alert from its database. According to a statement signed by his lead counsel, Justice Kusi Minka Primom of Minka Primom, Osei Bonsu, Bruce Catalin and partners, the CCF concluded that the request for Mr. Ofori-Atta's arrest appeared to be predominantly political in nature and did not comply with Interpol's neutrality rules. The decision was taken during the CCF's 135th section held on February 4th, after reviewing materials submitted by Ghana's Interpol National Central Bureau. In part of the statement, the CCF said that after a thorough examination of the information provided, the data registered by the National Central Bureau of Ghana were not compliant with Interpol's rules and should therefore be permanently deleted from the Interpol information system. This development marks a significant twist in government's effort to secure Mr. Ofori-Atta's return to Ghana over ongoing investigations into financial decisions taken during his time as finance minister. The former minister has been under scrutiny over several high-profile financial transactions during a period when Ghana's public debt rose sharply. So this is the new development to Ken Ofori-Atta's case. They have deleted the Interpol red notice permanently from their site because they said it's politically motivated, and then due to that, I don't know. Miss Debbie, I saw you were heated this morning. In fact, tell me, why are you angry?
Yeah, so I was angry because I didn't understand why Ken Ofori-Atta should be removed from the Interpol red notice. Well, they said their fact that it's because this whole issue was politicized and blah 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 blah. And we know that the sole people politicized this whole issue is the MPP. They were the one who politicized this whole issue. So right now, what are we saying? Are we trying to say that from now onwards, Ken Ofori-Atta is kind of free, or how serious we are going to take this issue? In a way, it's going to reduce, because this putting someone on a red Interpol notice means that this person is like, the person is, shall I say, a very big criminal.
Is wanted.
Like, yes, I know the person is wanted, but if they tell that someone is wanted, actually, then it means that her case is very, very serious. That is it. So in a way, the person is kind of like a big criminal that is wanted. Because if the case is not solely, if your case is not that demanding, I'm not sure there will be a red notice or you being placed somewhere to be wanted. You get it? So this whole issue, like, it's kind of annoying. Seriously, it's kind of annoying. And you see, yesterday I saw some members of the MPP jubilating, and I was asking myself, so is this what we want? No, is this what we want as a country? That someone, a former finance minister, so you were stating something that because they've stated that the person was a former finance minister, because he was a former finance minister, that was who he is. So that is how we are going to describe him. We cannot say, so Ken Ofori-Atta, who is he? If you are saying that Ken Ofori-Atta, he has embezzled from the state, the first thing that someone will ask is, who is he? What has he done? So you cannot say that because they've written that former finance minister and intern a year in a free war. It doesn't make sense. What we are saying is that how the man will get is what we want, and how we are going to retrieve those money is what we want. So the thing is, this whole issue was not to be politicized at the first place. But if we are talking about politicizing this whole issue, who politicized it? For me, it's the MPP, because it was the NDC who took this issue on. They were the one who took this issue so seriously. When they came into the power first time, they wanted this man back into the country. And then he gave a lot of complaints and all that he wasn't feeling well and all blah 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 blah, and a whole lot of issue. And then some time ago, they told us that they are in communications with, high security officials in the other states to ensure that this money is back into the country. And now this is what we are hearing. So what are they saying? The truth is that we are not serious. That is it. We are not serious as a country. Because if we are serious, and then such a huge sum of money, like Akosa.
It's actually alleged.
No, it's alleged. It's alleged, so. No, it's alleged, so. What are you trying to tell me? No, what are you trying to tell me? I want to know.
It's alleged. Right now, it hasn't been proven yet that indeed that money was taken by him money was embezzled.
It was alleged, but didn't we hear that Sikana Ayira? So I find you.
But has it been proven yet, Miss Debbie?
It hasn't been proven. So 58 million on the National Cathedral in Munafine.
Well, we don't
know. Who was behind it?
Maybe besides, he could even
who fought for that particular project in Parliament? Was it not the finance minister? He spearheaded it. So what are you trying to tell me? No, if this happening, then it means that we are promoting corruption. If this happened, then it means we are giving chance to people to also steal from the state. And then we allow them to go scot-free because in a way, I'm not too surprised because I've heard instances where they say that because even a whole criminal that this person is a criminal has been granted bail. So then what is the essence? But what we want is that if someone has been involved in a particular case, and even if it is alleged, and there should be a thorough investigation to bring out evidence against that person, because it's alleged. But who took the money? You were the former finance minister. The affairs of the economy was under your care. And then you mess everything up. If you didn't steal from the state, why are we calling you to come? For just a common interrogation, then you refuse coming. This alone should tell you that a lot is going on. This alone should tell you that, automatically you are sending a message across, why? Because if you are leveling what's the name, a charge against me, and I feel like what you are saying, like my own song, why won't I present myself for investigation? After all, what so I can defend myself. But so long as I keep prolonging the date and all that, automatically I'm trying to tell you, say, Maye. So this whole issue, like, it's serious, it's annoying.
But them removing it doesn't mean that he's free.
I know it doesn't mean he's free. I know that the process is still ongoing, but how fast is it going to be?
Right.
So now free, or in a way, it means that the pace at which this money is supposed to come to this country will be slowed.
You think so?
Yes.
Right.
Because if somebody tell you that Q is wanted, automatically a message has been sent across. Obia putting in effort because we want him back. But when he has been taken off the notice board, it means it's not semi. It's not that serious. So how you are going to put in a lot of effort, or how those people are supposed to help you to get Q back into this country, is going to delay. That is what we are saying.
Let me hear from Miss Regina. Miss Regina, what's your general thoughts? I mean, when you saw it, how did you feel, and what came into mind?
I was shocked, flabbergasted.
How you perplexed?
Astonished. I was like, wow. But first off, I would say I was not shocked because it's Ghana. We are in Ghana. Everything is possible here. I say Ghana is the land of Eyikaswano, the land of possibilities. Everything is possible there. So I was not really shocked, but I was disappointed because it looks like when it comes to certain critical issues, our leaders tend to play with it. Omofani is serious. And we're talking about this political issue. I would say it stems from both the NPP and NDC. Because when NDC was in opposition, they said they would make sure that anyone who looted government property or government money would be taken on. And when they came, they started MPP, and then Omanka. they talked against it. So automatically, these international people are seeing whatever we are doing here. But my problem is, why on Omako say OSP no? Why would you declare someone wanted, and all of a sudden you are telling us that you are taking the person off that wanted list? Why didn't you investigate before declaring that person wanted?
Yeah, exactly. So at what point did they realize that it was
Exactly. At
politically
what
motivated?
point? And when we talk about Interpol is a body that operates independently on its own. It shouldn't be influenced by religion, religion and also political issues. So from their perspective, I understand it. Because honestly, I'm a Ghanaian and I know that this issue, they politicized it. Most of them, they are here politics. And now you're MPP, and I'm a person channel.
Wait, oh. And now Arise for na
Arise Ghana.
Pastor.
But it shouldn't be so, because they are concerned Ghanaians who wants the interests of the people at heart. So that shouldn't even be a political issue. But people can do anything. They can manipulate issue to be in favor of them. And the Interpol declaring him no longer wanted doesn't mean that automatically he's innocent or he's free.
No.
And I would say we should refrain from calling him names. I know, sir, when the issue came, we called him names, and we should also refrain from saying he's guilty, because no one can declare someone guilty unless a competent court of jurisdiction.
Yeah, exactly.
So that aspect, I would plead on Ghanaians, because before Sisiana Uniska. Kind of reactors so base you your bank close you how much more an individual. So I'm disappointed, honestly. And as she's saying, with this issue, I feel na issue never can because it would prolong. Kind of reactor nyambai, so we should forget it.
We should forget it.
No go
Rivers for now.
Sabe pepe.
Ube one is all come with me. And then my Russian man don't go for them. Come with me.
Let me show you my apartment.
Right. We'll be looking forward to the new developments in this particular case. Ken Oforiata, you again. Right, let's move on. This is not the time to settle political scores. Baumia to government. The flag bearer of the new patriotic party NPP, Mahmoud Baumia, has called on the government to exercise political restraint and avoid what he described as retribution and intimidation. Dr. Baumia made the appeal while addressing the National Chief Imam and hundreds of worshippers. He urged the administration of President John Dramani Mahama to focus on national unity rather than political tension. His comments come at a time of heightened political activity, including ongoing legal controversies such as the recent Interpol Red Notice development involving former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta. According to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Ghana's democratic stability must not be undermined by political rival. He stressed that many Ghanaians are already facing economic hardship and should not be burdened further by political instability. He stated that this is not a time for settling political scores, but rather a time to lower the temperature, heal the nation, and govern in a way that reassures every Ghanaian that they are safe, respected, and valued, regardless of how they voted. The NPP flag bearer emphasized that leadership is a mandate to serve all citizens, not just supporters of the ruling party. He warned that governance must never be reduced to vengeance. Dr. Baumia added that the country's current challenges require maturity, humility, and focus on serious national work instead of partisan conflict. Ghana is bigger than any party, he said, urging politicians to put country before comfort and duty before ego. He concluded by encouraging citizens to dwell on opposition or criticisms, but to focus on building an environment where everyone can contribute toward national progress. This is coming from Baumia, and And Sunday, the NPP held their Thanksgiving, and during that period, he made mention of this. But let me ask you, what specific action do you see that this government is doing that you consider as intimidation or retribution, as he mentioned? Ms. Gina?
They are talking about Ken Oforiate's issue. That is the only issue. And Wuntumi's case. And who again? Who's the big who again?
Abronye.
No.
Abronye is not part.
Abronye is not part. So I think mainly
Edubuahin,
and even
the
with NSS, and just recently the young man who was arrested, Kofi in cancer. These people. So Baumia is trying to tell us that when a political party comes into power and certain things are not going on right, because such people are NPP loyals, they should just let them go just like that. Because honestly, they are all canina. Sorry to say, nyansa a woman. If you want to say, oh, both parties should come together to create unity, to make sure that everything in our society is going on well, that is understandable. And in your point, you read something about they coming together in unity to contribute to the economy. Mind you, the minority in parliament, are they contributing? First off, they are anything the majority will bring on board, they find a way to make it bogus. They even go as far as walking out of parliament. He didn't see that when we are Nwanka, but rather he's talking about political intimidation. So right now, who is doing that political intimidation? And he's also trying to say that President John Dramani Mahama is in power mainly for revenge. That is the Okanina, that is what it means. That he's in power mainly for revenge. With the political revenge.
Send idea.
Say now your opposition. You can say you buy a betchi or more Omedi Ghana Sikanina, Operation Recover All Loot, and say Yabadia, Yababe. So we will target the NPP gurus who were in office at that time and take them on. It shouldn't be like that. So he's trying to say that when it comes to accountability and transparency, political parties are not even near it. But accountability is a must for every public official. Once where I'm sitting, at the end of the day, I need to be accountable for my actions.
Exactly.
The words I say, whatever I do here, I need to be transparent and accountable. It should be for everyone who is in public office or who is your friend is a politician, as a civil society person, individual. So Dr. Baumia, what he's saying there,
right. Miss Debbie, so is Dr. Baumia suggesting that all of the current investigation into the former officials or into the previous administration and how they govern the country and the, how would I say it? I wouldn't want to use the word mismanagement or the irregularities that happens are politically motivated? Is that what he's trying to say?
Automatically, that is what he's trying to say. But I think Baumia should be the last person to talk about economic strain. I mean, how bad the economy is. Because you see, what is funny is that sometimes these politicians make fun of themselves. If you've not held office before and you're talking, I mean, sometimes it makes sense because we know we've not tried it before. Because Ghanaians, we are good in trying people, testing people to know how good they can manage the affairs of the state. But we've tried you before. How well did you manage the economy? Sometimes it baffles me. Where do they get their survey from? Who feed them with information? I mean, which media house do they listen to? Or they listen to their own media house? Because I know they have a platform where they share infos. So I don't know who feed them with this kind of information. Do they go on ground to listen to people? Have they seen Ghanaians talking and complaining? They're always making issues out of things that are not really issues. So if you're saying that people are being intimidated, he is actually saying that because they feel like their own people are being intimidated by the current government. And you see, this is the main reason why we will not go forward as a country. Because if you are in power and then you leave power and I take after you, and then I feel like your government did not do the right thing, and I go after them, you sit in your office and you talk, you talk rubbish because you feel like I'm after them. But the thing is, even the law states that you need to be accountable. You need to tell the people what you've done. But here lies the case. Senipanu we di Ukraine say Kochina. He said yediomochi say. So for example, we saw how Galamsey was so intense during their time. And allegedly we saw some members of the MPP involved in Galamsey. That's a current administration now, but then they go to pick your member that go to court. Let's go and judge on the matter at court and then find out whether this person is indeed involved, because we've received calls that he's into it. Now we also can't say that they're intimidating the people. How are they intimidating them? The waters are getting polluted every day. So what are you trying to say? No one is intimidating anybody. I feel like it's because we are buttressing everything with politics and all that, and that is what we are seeing. See, the thing is, if you don't have a message, don't talk. It's not by force. No one is forcing you. So don't go about making claims that do not exist. Or don't go about, if you are talking about someone, you are talking about unity. You should rather be talking about unite your party. Who told you that Ghanaians are divided? And then you're calling for the president to unite.
Yeah.
Bunch of jokes.
And stop political tension.
Political tension. You should rather
so
think
are they trying to say they are not seeing what is happening or what? Because
it's intentional. They are looking at those things from a political lens. That is what they are doing. It's not as if they don't see what is going on. Trust me, they want to do anything, or they'll go the extreme mile to do anything at all to convince the people and come back to power. So it's up to you, the citizen, to wise up and know that these people, what they are doing, it's basically politics.
It's basically politics.
That is why I said, if you don't have a message, it's not by force. Don't go and force yourself and be saying things that does not make sense. Yesterday, a colleague of mine said something, and I was like, wait. And then he was like, sometimes when these people they talk, it's like they feel as if Ghanaians are, they are fools, or they don't see what is going on, or their IQ is very low. And so when you come back and then you say tra-ra-ra, then we also take it like just like that. No. So if you're talking about unity, you should rather preach on how your members are going to unite, because you have a war ahead of you, and that war is the election in 2028.
Yeah.
How you are going to unite your own people? It's very, very important, because don't forget that since you've changed the approach from bottom to top, it has created misunderstanding at the grassroots. If he doesn't know, you should go and settle that one first before calling for national unity. We are not divided.
Amen. CDD Ghana calls for national debates on campaign financing. The Center for Democratic Development Ghana is calling for a national conversation on campaign financing, warning that the growing influence of money in politics is weakening Ghana's democracy. Programs Officer Vera Abna Ado says while many professions in Ghana are regulated, politicians are not subjected to strict controls when it comes to campaign funding. She questioned why lawyers, bankers, pharmacists, and teachers are regulated, yet there is little scrutiny over where politicians get their campaign funds. Ms. Ado raised concerns about how easily some politicians are able to raise and distribute large sums of money during internal party primaries and national elections. According to her, transparency is key. She is calling for stronger laws that require politicians to disclose their source of funding and file regular financial reports. She warned that the current situation affects the credibility of Ghana's elections and makes it difficult for young people and ordinary citizens to compete. Citing research on the high cost of running for office, she questioned how people without access to huge financial resources can contest elections fairly. Ms. Ado also acknowledged that the problem goes beyond politicians. She said both the demand and the supply side must be addressed, noting that as long as voters accept money, politicians will continue to distribute it. CDD Ghana is therefore planning community engagements across the country to educate citizens on the long-term consequences of vote buying. She cautioned that when voters accept money from candidates, they may end up paying for it indirectly if those elected seek to recover their campaign spending. If they seek to recover their campaign spending. So when they give you money, you take it. Just know that definitely you pay indirectly. So they are asking that where do these people get the money to finance their campaign? It should be something that we should, take serious and then investigate into. Because teachers, we know where they get their money from. But politicians, when it's time for campaign, who distributes the money? Who finances them? So this is what they are calling for. Don't you think that it's been long overdue? It's high time we should have even started this thing way back. Some people also suggested that why don't they use the taxpayers' money to finance these people for?
The thing is, they've already been using it. That is what they are using.
The
taxpayers' money.
Like Nakaskabenya. So those money they've been stealing, what are they using it for?
Okay, so what about the newcomers?
Which newcomers? The one coming in.
Yeah.
They have financiers.
And then when they get into power, they have a way of taking that money back.
Yes, to pay the financiers.
But is it right?
No, it's not.
Right. What can you say to that?
It's very, very wrong.
Do you think that there should be a law to regulate
Of
that
course.
campaign financing?
Of course, there should be. I think this should be something that we should have paid attention to for long. But then, I feel like the more reason why we didn't pay attention to this because we feel like it's normal. And then sometimes they will tell you that they are politicians, they are being paid for what they do. Members of parliament are being paid. Even the president is still being paid by the state. So they can equally tell you that they've saved enough to finance their campaign. And there is nothing you can do if you have no evidence to back your claims that the money they are using in financing their campaign is not from their monthly pay by it's something else. But you see, another question we should ask ourselves is that a government will come into power and then the rates at which funds are being embezzled is too high. It's too high. Then immediately when they are going in for campaign, can you just imagine a delegate giving each person 2,000, 3,000?
A candidate giving a delegate?
Yes, sorry, a candidate giving a delegate like 3,000 for just to convince you to vote for him or her. Like, where do you get that money from? Sometimes we don't ask ourselves this question. I remember before 2020, was it 2024 election or the previous election before 2024, we saw instances where a member of parliament brought a vehicle, their saloon vehicle, and then when they opened the boot, sister, a bunch of money, they bundled this money.
Yes, surrounded in the
boot.
The person is a politician.
It's a member of parliament. And they were giving it out to delegates. Obia benya bunch bako, obia benya one, then you go and vote. And we see this attitude only when people are campaigning to be voted for into power. And we are saying it's bad because even when you read the statement, they said it undermines our elections. Yeah, it influences the choice of the voters. It influences their choice of voting. And that is why we don't vote for competent people. Because a bunch of member of parliament, you see, that is the mindset. The mindset. If somebody is giving you a bunch of CDs or maybe dollars to come and vote for him or her, you feel like, well, send me vote him and I will get more than that. But oh boy, you don't even know where they get that money from. So when they come into, but what if it is loan? What if it's, well, I can't tell where they get their money from though. But you see, most of the time they let me just put it this way, that maybe they're going for loan and all that. And then when they come into power, you need to pay. And so instead of paying attention to things that are needed in their constituency or in their country, don't pay attention to it. They are rather paying attention to how to gather enough money and then go and settle their debt. By the time we settle our debt now, we're only 4 years now, so so this whole thing is something that is very serious. I feel like it should be. You see, these are the things that should be discussed in Parliament. And yet, like things like this should be discussed in parliament. There should be a bill, a law on this that should be passed. It's a chewa. Say 50 years now, better one no them 50 years. See a chewa so now say otu so better on man, then we know that this is the law. But when we don't have laws governing all this, and then we feel like it's normal, a time will come where we will live in a country where no one cares. Because you all can say line tin, and then you end up voting for a thief.
Right. Miss Regina, what do you think we can do as a country?
Okay, so I think the best thing they can do, I would say that the Electoral Commission that is headed by Jane Mensah, she needs to make sure that she investigates these individuals. I don't know if together with the OSP is possible. They need to investigate these individuals, because let's use Baba Jamal for example. Giving out 32-inch television to each delegate, and mind you, if there are 50 delegates, it means that you have to give everyone this television. And looking at that television, there's no television yet only 800 cedis. It's 1,000 plus 2,000. So you can just imagine the amount of money pumped into that. And we also have the Brian camp, the Kennedy camp, the Baumia, Educhum camp. Mind you, all of them will do something on that day. Where do they get that money from? And as she said, it might be a loan. We can never tell. But I can't remember, Brian A. Champon was the one financing Dr. Bawumia's campaign at that time. And he also decided to come out and also join the war himself. Right. Now, at that time, where was he getting the money? He boldly came out to say that he's the one financing it. Where is he getting the money to do that? We understand that they are politicians. Their pay is very good and very it's good looking. But mind you, it's not up to the amount they are spending on the political grounds. So they need to make sure that they investigate each and every one of them. To me, I would say it's of no use, because they've already tolerated it for a very long time. So putting the root cause will be very difficult. It will be very difficult. But we wouldn't be where we are today. Now our democracy are being bought. So they need to work on it.
They need to work on that. Thank you for joining us on the news headline review. Up next we have Today in History.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 1804, U.S. Navy bought and bent the captured USS Philadelphia Enduring mission. Lieutenant Stephen DeCato led a daring mission into Tripoli Harbor, boarding and burning the captured frigate USS Philadelphia to prevent its use by Barbary pirates. Using the disguised ketch intrepid, DeCato's crew swiftly destroyed the vessel, an act hailed as the most bold and daring act of the age. Alexei, fiend critic of Vladimir Putin, dies in prison. Alexei, the most prominent Russian opposition leader and a relentless critic of Vladimir Putin, died in a remote Arctic penal colony on this day 2024 at the age of 47. Following his death, European nations and international investigators uncovered evidence suggesting that he was murdered via poisoning while in custody. 1877 treaty between Chief Sekukuni and the Boers. The peace treaty between Chief Sekukuni of the Babedi and the South African Republic, Transvaal Boers, was signed on this day, 1877, at the Boshabelo. This treaty marked the end of the First Sekukuni War from 1876 to 1877, which the Boers were unable to win outright, leading to a negotiated settlement mediated by Reverend Alexander Merensky. To some few observances, Family Day, a celebration of the values that bind families together: love, respect, and support. It provides an opportunity for families to reconnect and strengthen their bonds through shared experiences and quality time spent together. Lastly, Innovation Day. Encourage interdisciplinary creative thinking for achieving sustainable development goals, initiated to foster new ideas. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina. Debbie's girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. The Minister of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samonate George, has announced that government has started processes to get the Russian man accused of filming his sexual escapades with several Ghanaian women. Speaking to the media, Sam George said that the Russian man who has been identified broke the laws of Ghana, and the government would leave no stone unturned in ensuring that he is brought back to the country. He added that even if the Russian man is not brought back, he will be tried in absentia. It is a crime to record a person without their consent, and even when you record and keep it on your phone, if the person finds out and reports it to us, we will prosecute you and you will go to jail. That is the law of the land. Now, you don't just record it, but you go and post it on website for financial gain. That gentleman will be looked for. We will activate every resource at our disposal, working with Interpol, the way we've worked with Interpol to extradite Ghanaians to other jurisdictions, he said. He also disclosed that he has invited the Russian ambassador to Ghana over the incident and asked for the collaboration of his country to help prosecute him. Ghanaian citizens, irrespective of their decision making, will be protected by the government. The government of John Dramani Mahama will ensure that every citizen's rights are protected, and you cannot record a citizen without their consent. That constitutes a crime under Cyber Security Authority Act 1038, he added. The minister also urged Ghanaians to be circumspect in order to avoid becoming victims of such predators. So during last week, we saw a circulating video on social media where a Russian man was seen interacting with some Ghanaians, and immediately he spoke to you. How are you doing? I want you to come to my house. And all of a sudden, it's like they've been cast. It's like a spell has been cast on them. So immediately he said, "Oh, can I see you? Can you come over to my place?" And then the lady asks, where exactly? And all of a sudden, you see the lady in the hotel room. Okay, so we saw a video of the man posting this ladies, the number of Ghanaian ladies he has had an affair with. He posted it on the media, and this has sparked a lot of conversation on social media. People talking about this. I mean, how reckless some ladies can be, and although the man, like, you don't have the right, okay, because according to the law, you have no right to leak a sex video of someone without the consent of the person. It's different when you are shooting a porn movie. That is what you do for a living. That will be posted on social media for everybody to watch, because that is what you do. That is different from you having an affair with someone without the person having no idea of you recording her, and automatically you go on to post it on social media. And so, I mean, this has prompted the Minister of Communication, Digital Technology, I'm not just saying that this Russian man will be, extradited back to the country. He will be questioned why he did that. And you see, it's funny because I've heard people say that even Ken of Oriata want to be extradited in Ghana, and a Russian man, because I mean, we know this issue is an issue. This is not something we should joke with, because one, the ladies, it is not only the ladies who have been embarrassed. The whole country, everybody has been embarrassed, seriously. Because there will be this kind of notion that, oh, Ghanaian ladies are cheap. Because imagine, this is not funny, okay? But imagine somebody coming to you to talk to you, like, how are you? All of a sudden, like, what can you them? You get it, like, it doesn't make sense. You get to think about it, and don't think that you are a saint. This can equally happen to anybody. You don't even know whether it's like it's expel. You don't even know whether it's the person has a spell has been cast on the person or not. But this is it. Like, you ought to be very, very careful. See, you've met someone for the first time. You don't even know the person. The person asks your name, you mentioned. Your phone number, you gave it out. Your residential address, you gave it out. You don't even know whether this person is a serial killer. You don't know whether the person is an armed robber. And this is how criminals get to know your info without your knowledge. And then you'll be there and pam, they'll barge you to your house, steal everything that belongs to you. And then you ask yourself, how did it happen? You've forgotten that you've met someone, you don't even know the person. And then you give a second, so someone met you for a second, and then the person know your life history. The person know where you were born, how many siblings you had, where you started your education, where you are now, what you are doing. Like, these are things people will not tell you. But I think personally, this should be an info that should be on your fingertips. You don't know this person. And I've seen videos where people were asking, Bronina won't be there. Is it a white man that you've not seen before? Or because, I mean, there is this notion that maybe I don't know what the man told them, but I'm sure the man convinced them in a way. Maybe I'm going to fly you abroad. I'm going to cater for you. Like, I'm going to take care of you and your family, give you money and all that. And this issue has become a very... See, this is not something we should joke with. I don't know how true is it, but it has been alleged that one of the ladies has committed suicide. I don't know whether it's true, but I saw that. And see, this is too big. This is too huge. Your families are watching. Your colleagues are watching. Like, the whole world. How are you going to explain yourself? How? And I think this should serve as a caution to ladies out there. It should serve as like a caution to you. You need to be careful. You need to be careful. This is what I say. You meet someone for the first time. That is what I remember growing up. They'll tell you that if you meet someone for the first time, the person asks you of your name, you mention a different name. So I remember those you have two names, so you don't mention your real name. Someone asks you your name, you mention the other one. You don't even mention your real name. You tell the person it's none of your business to keep asking me and see, this is petty means scammers and these serial killers uses to get infos about you. The world as we see it to be is very scary. It is not as glamorous as you see it. The world we live in is wicked and is scary. This man said he has been learning seduction for 15 years. And it's as if it's a group. That is what they do. They move for country. And then he went to Kenya. He went to other countries as well. This is not the first country he has been to. So just as you growing up and then you had it in mind that I want to become a nurse, I want to be, honestly the NSA, he was learning about seduction and then going about having affairs with ladies. That is his mission. That is what he does. And so anyone who falls victim and I ask him, he doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. So please, to my young ladies out there, please be careful. Not everyone that stops you, then you stop. Sometimes you cannot be after C. Why are you a taxi driver? If somebody is calling you C, your name is not C. And sometimes they call you, then you stop. And then the person will be asking you, like, even questions that does not make sense. Now, oh, Yina, no, so. They are taking info, so. They are taking infos. You have no idea. You have no idea. Satan can come in the form of an angel and they'll still manipulate you. See, let me tell you, if someone wants to destroy you, the person doesn't care that sticking to you for 30 years. If that 30 years is a duration of years or numbers he can use to grab you, he will do it. He will do it. So the best thing is that you need to be careful. I'm sure people will not regard this, but please, prayer is also very necessary. Like I said, oh, but why will I pray? It's necessary, because even the 99% of people you meet every day, they are not human. Some of them are spirits. Some of them are ghosts in human form walking about. So you ought to be careful. You need to pray. God should direct your step. The people you meet, even how you will speak to people is also necessary. Because you don't even know who you are going to meet. And I'm sure these ladies have never dreamt of meeting. They've never dreamt of a day like this coming to meet them so easily and so cheap. Now everybody will call them cheap. San ebebano. Oko kanko bi entie, ne wo ho ne no ana obi abesoso. Yes, you go explain I still no evidence because while we explain video soon da also na doggy half side. How are you going to explain? How are you going to convince people? So please, young ladies, you ought to be very, very careful. Even the people you know, even people who you call friends, they shouldn't know. See, don't let people know so much about you. The same way, don't let people know. They know the number of your siblings. They know your father, even the amount of money your father have in your bank account. They know you more than you know yourself. It's bad. Limit how you talk. Limit how you disclose things about your personal affairs. That makes you unique. But when you tell them everything, they have an upper hand over your life. And also, I'll show you. He will tell you that because he knows your life history and you have said it yourself. So please, let's be careful. I feel like this is a lesson to everyone. Just put it on your fingertips and use it as a guideline. Let it guide your steps. Thank you so much for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie. Thank you too for joining us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Ghana to push for global recognition of transatlantic slave trade as crime against humanity. Government to tax foreign cocoa funding to local processing. Ken Oforiatta removed from Interpol red notice. Also coming up, Pandai, Member of Parliament, urges safety measures to curb Volta Lake tragedies. Government to extradite Russian gentleman involved in secret filming of Ghanaian ladies. These and many more coming up your way shortly. Ghana, acting on behalf of the African Union, will present a resolution at the United Nations General Assembly on March 25th, seeking global recognition of the transatlantic slave trade as a grave crime against humanity. President Mahama announced the initiative, emphasizing the need for acknowledgement, accountability and reparations for the descendants of enslaved Africans. The resolution aims to establish a global legal framework for restorative justice.
Ghana has initiated the process to table a resolution at the UN General Assembly in March this year, seeking global recognition of the transatlantic slave trade as one of the gravest crimes against humanity. This is not symbolic diplomacy, it's a necessary moral clarification of history. I urge the forthcoming 39th Assembly of the AU to lend full and unflinching support to this historic resolution. A zero draft of the proposed resolution will soon be circulated to all member states for consultation and coordinated advocacy. The evidence is compelling, the legal foundations are firm, the moral imperative is undeniable. And so let Addis Ababa 2026 mark a turning point. Let it be said that in 2026 in Addis Ababa, Africa chose to honor its past and to define its future. Let it be said that we transformed memory into policy, that we converted the grievances of our past into a collective strategy, and that we turned our history into sovereign action. Let us not defer justice, let us not postpone dignity, let us act, and let us act together. I thank you.
Also, government is set to revolutionize Ghana cocoa industry by ending reliance on foreign funding for cocoa purchases. President Mahama made this revelation at the Accra Recon event in Ethiopia. According to him, Ghana will raise domestic bonds to finance cocoa buys, leveraging its cedi's reserves to eliminate collateralization of cocoa beans. This move aims to unlock 400,000 tons of cocoa for local processing, creating jobs and retaining value within Ghana's economy.
We're going to stop foreign funding for the purchase of our cocoa. We are going to raise domestic bonds. We have enough cedis in Ghana to pay for our cocoa. We're going to raise domestic bonds, buy our own cocoa. We don't need to collateralize the beans. I know the interesting part. We have the capacity to process 400,000 tons of those beans, processing capacity in Ghana. But because the beans are collateralized, we cannot even allocate those beans to the local processors. We have to ship all the beans outside. Now, if we buy the beans ourselves, we can take 400,000 tons out of the beans and give to our local processors to add value. That is what the Accra research is about. I say by 2030, there are not going to be any raw mineral ores leaving Ghana. You're not going to ship manganese ores out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship bauxite ore out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship iron ore out of Ghana raw. You must process all that locally. That is the only way we can provide opportunities for our young people. Our young people are not as patient as our generation. They want to see that progress and prosperity today. And that is why Accra Research has that urgency that we need to implement in order that we stop our young people from braving the dangers of the Sahara and the Mediterranean to try to get to Europe to look for opportunity. Africa's prosperity is not a threat to anybody in this world. Africa's prosperity will consolidate world prosperity, and it will be a positive for this world, not a threat. And so we want to thank Baros Chapman for those kind words. Al-Hajj C spoke on behalf of our stakeholders, and we're happy that they are sacrificing their time and effort to join this great movement to create prosperity for Africa. Some have asked what the Accra reset really means. Some imagine just another declaration. Others expect fiery speeches. Accra reset is an architecture, a framework through which Africa and its partners align finance, health, trade, skills, and technology into a single direction of travel. Our frustrations have given way to determination, sparking breakthrough thinking that will change the calculus of international relations forever. Take, for example, global health. For too long, our health systems have been seen as a drain on our budgets. Through the Accra reset, every finance minister now understands that health is the foundation of productivity and stability. I'm pleased to announce our high-level panel on reform of global health architecture, which is co-chaired by Professor Peter Piot, Honorable Budi Gunadi Sadikin, Chancellor Elhaj Asai, and Honorable Nisia Trinidade Liman. Reform will be grounded in knowledge of past failures while animated by future promise. On negotiating power, it is said that sovereignty depends on the people manning the gates. Technical work has begun on our sovereign negotiators certification program, cultivating a generation of deal makers who can navigate technology agreements.
Former Minister of Finance Ken Ofori-Atta has had his Interpol Red Notice permanently deleted, citing the request as predominantly political and not compliant with Interpol's rule. The decision follows a review by Interpol's Commission for the Control of Files. According to them, the notice removal was necessary due to Ghana's non-compliance with Interpol's neutrality requirement. Critics, including Franklin Kujo, argues Ofori-Atta is evading accountability for alleged financial irregularities during his tenure. However, the Office of the Special Prosecutor maintains its commitment to pursue accountability.
I knew very well that we get to this point. In any case, public opprobrium was directed at the OSP and then organized in such a way that it made the OSP look so bad. If the Attorney General doesn't like the OSC position, which is his original idea, he never really liked the OSC's position in the first place, well, maybe be nice about it. But don't show it publicly, don't court opinion, don't court disaffection for that gentleman. He's an independent guy. In any case, so what has happened? For me, I don't see anything here. Look, they successfully fought the listing by suggesting that there was persecution in this country. Sandra, you and me, who has been persecuted in this country, having been cited for corruption. If there's any history, it is the MPP that had actually persecuted people who died in jail. What are they talking about? When Salome and Co. and people were died, I mean, look at the way they treated Chikata. So let's not even get there. As we speak, subordinates of the finance minister, former finance, are in court. Who is persecuting them? In fact, my good friend Mustafa Hamid now has the Kajuns, actually, to even say that, oh, what can come? Well, I never expected him to be charged. But you see, the bravado with which people even speak when they have been accused. It is all part of our democracy. So for Ken, especially, that's where my disappointment actually arises. I'm asking this gentleman that I knew so well. We spoke, we did quite a lot of things together. This guy is running away from accountability. Why? I saw some of the things he did. I mean, he and that lady, Ursula, they signed that in the dead of the night. It was a deputy minister in their government that rushed to us at midnight to give us a deal. I said, hey, says go. That's how we found about Kelly GBG. It was he and the lady. They were the only people who signed. Even cabinet did not know. So what are we talking about here? Then you've been cited about SML. Your own cousin said, hey, I'll investigate you, the president. Didn't you do that? Your own party disowned you after making a lot of economic errors. Anyway, I still believe Ken should not have been a finance minister. Ken should have just been an advisor.
He should not have been.
Member of Parliament for Pandai Matthew Nyindam is calling for stricter enforcement of safety measures on the Volta Lake to prevent recurring boat accidents. He advocates for formalizing lake transportation, ensuring certified boats, trained operators and mandatory life jackets. According to him, relief efforts cannot be replaced with lost lives.
I don't know why. Questions are Ubusa say, Kwan bear so na yemfa. Mimi fu say, Yamma ya adwen ko river transport ho. We attention a yedima road transport, yedima air transport. By ba road transport, friends and lake transporter, ya adwen sha danya dan eni ho. Nti aben no ene Volta River Authority. Mimi fu say esi epen kronfo bia ome monitor the movement of this boats or canoes. Because it serves a lot of people. Ofa enanameka dambai say oko krachi oko yeji nipa dodo amofa sansuo no so omo yusu lake ana say friends and boats ana canoes no omo dodo also but omo kwa enam say eye individual business ntino abaya dwene ho life jackets omo ni bi omo obi kra na omo nyusu why and if you say ome yusu sa life jackets na omo di ama omo no police bi anchi obia sabe imperial biasa obia ni wa o monitor say overload cry dan abam obia ni wa o monitor say the friend say boat na wo use cry no is of good. Most accidents na here is so no eya na nsuo beto a enframa no a ebono nti wane mo those signals obia ni ho nti okono kwahia enframa na boom na accident aba, then a lot of people will die. Ye yi omu wi na afre na dumu na president akoho na minister akoho na sabio kakra won nsam na wakoyi ama ani padu do no so ayden omu awuko. So I think that way na yedima aviation and na yem weather forecasting, weather all those things no ye the lake transporter ebeboa and a police for so marine police say lake police just like I said no and also bar ebeboa then life jackets na nkasa no they should make sure that they provide enough life jackets and the people are using the life jackets.
Government is set to extradite a Russian national involved in the secret filming of Ghanaian women. According to the Minister of Digital Technology and Communication, Samuel Nate George said the move follows a public outcry over the scandal. Meanwhile, details on the extradition process and charges against the Russian national is expected soon.
The Cybersecurity Authority is one of the agencies under my ministry, and I'm sure leading up to the Christmas, you guys saw the clampdown we did on cybercrime and fraud and all of that. Part of what we do is also to deal with sextortion and child online protection. In this instance, I'm sure you're referencing the Russian gentleman who came into the country. Yesterday, I caused the ministry to send an invitation to the Russian ambassador. I intend to see him this week and have a conversation with him. We're taking a very strong view of it. The individuals involved are not minors. None of them is a minor. They're grown-up adults who made decisions. What the Cybersecurity Authority is interested in, and my ministry is interested in, is not in the moral judgment of the individuals. It's in the non-consensual sharing of the videos that were posted online. That is a crime. It's not a crime to be able to convince a man or a woman to go into your room with you in 6 minutes. That's not a crime by the law. That's a personal decision to make. But it is a crime to record a person without their consent. And apart from, and even when you record and keep it on your phone, and the person finds out and reports to us, we will prosecute you and you go to jail. That's the law of the land. Now, you don't just record it, but you go and post it on a website for financial gain, that gentleman will be looked for. We will activate every resource in our disposal, working with Interpol. The way we've worked with Interpol to extradite Ghanaians to other jurisdictions, we will request the Russian authorities, and that's why I've invited a Russian ambassador, to work with our law enforcement. We want the gentleman to come to Ghana, to be brought back to Ghana, extradited to Ghana, for him to face the rigors of our law. Ghanaian citizens, irrespective of their decision making, will be protected by their government. The government of John Dramani Mahama will ensure that every citizen's rights are protected. And you cannot record a citizen without their consent and air that or post that online. That constitutes a crime under the Cyber Crime Offences Act, the Cyber Security Authority Act, CSA Act 1038 of Ghana, passed in 2020 by Parliament. So we will work on it. We're working on it. We'll be with my Lelu team at Cybersecurity is building a full docket. Whether we have the gentleman or not, I intend for us to file a full prosecution. We'll make a representation before the courts, try him in absentia, and get judgment if he fails to show up. But we will not let this go. I mean, my colleague Minister for Gender has issued a statement as well, because most of these victims were women. But we would pursue this to its legal conclusion and ensure that this never happens again. But once again, to our countrymen and women, we urge caution. We urge caution. I mean, we need to be minded about some of these things and careful. But on the legal parts, we will do our part. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
In business, Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Alhassan Suyini, has launched One Heart Fund in the constituency, disbursing initial interest-free loans to 23 self-supporting women's group as part of activities marking Chocolate Day and Valentine's Day. The initiative is aimed at empowering women entrepreneurs and strengthening small businesses across the constituency. In a post on his social media page, Mr. Suyini described the launch as a successful milestone in his effort to promote economic inclusion in Tamale North. As part of Valentine's Day celebration, we successfully launched the One Heart Fund in the Tamale constituency, he said. He revealed that over the next 3 years, the One Heart Fund will provide interest-free loans to support 5,000 women-owned small enterprises. According to him, the initiative is designed to ease the financial burden on women entrepreneurs, many of whom struggle to access affordable credit in expanding their businesses. Mr. Suyini expressed appreciation to those who contributed to the success of the program. The One Heart Fund is also expected to boost micro and small-scale enterprises in Tamale North, particularly among women engaged in trading, food vending, and other income-generating ventures. Beneficiaries are hopeful the interest-free support will enable them to expand operations, increase household incomes, and create more opportunities within their communities. To sports, Ghanaian youngster Prince Amwako Jr. guided FC North Jalan to a hard-fought win over the Copenhagen on Saturday afternoon. Amwako Jr. scored the winning goal of the game as the side claimed 2-1 away win in the Danish Superliga encounter. He took an early lead in the game, scoring after just 6 minutes through Mohammed. However, the North Zealand had other ideas, having gone into the recess period with a deficit. The away side earned a penalty in the 70th minute of the game, which was converted by Ola to draw North Zealand level in the encounter. 8 minutes after Mwako Jr. stole the show, bursting forward from his own half after a well-defended corner by visitors before beating the goalkeeper with a low drive. The Ghanaian strike gave North Zealand the lead for the first time in the game as they went on to hold to the advantage and eventually won all 3 points available. The goal was the 18-year-old's sixth of the league season, having scored 5 in the first half of the campaign. Amwako Jr. also has 4 assists to his name in the league this game. And showbiz, renowned high-life musician Kojo Antwi has dropped a bombshell revealing he pens his hit song with women in mind. The veteran artist's latest revelation has sent shockwaves through the music industry, with fans and fellow musicians alike eager to know more. In a recent interview, he explained that his songwriting process is often inspired by women in his life, citing their strength, beauty, and resilience as major influences. Kojo Antwi's latest album, which dropped last year, has been a hit, with fans, and his female-inspired tracks have been particularly well received. The album lead single, a soulful ballad, has been praised for its poignant lyrics and soaring vocals. The music maestro comment have been hailed as a breath of fresh air, with many calling for more artists to follow suit and create music that celebrates and empowers women. As Kojo Antwi continues to tour and perform, fans can expect more of his signature sound, infused with love, respect, and admiration for the women who inspire him. And that's how we end it for now on the morning news update. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the afternoon. Until that, do have a good morning. My name is Deborah Adoso.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
GhanaTalks Radio ɛwɔ UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system mekyerɛ spinning machine papa every amano ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha enti sɛ woyɛ ayie woyɛ engagement woyɛ wedding woyɛ birthday party political parties are moyɛ rally sɛ moyɛ asɔre a moyɛ crusade so wo bo carnival or any kind of event now wo pe spinning machine papa a bo sound no mu dia enya me kanfo GTR sounds de emawo ye wo live band nso a woto nsa de frenya ye betimi ababeboa ama wodwumedi a wodie nso atimi aye kama pa ye wo enkan poponi mantemo anya aponchi hotel ho pepepe na ye butuo odi ane se wo be frɛ empanifo e wo 0546 960510 GTR sounds emuode angaza.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning to you once again. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on
This
Ghana
is
Talks
Ghana Talks Radio, the best station
You're
rocking the
welcome to the
nation.
second segment of the show. And as you know it, we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to dive into the issues. They're going to share their informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. We're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Ghana Talks Radio as well. You can join in the conversation, send in your comments. Let's get the discussion interactive. Sitting right here in the studios with me is from the NPP's camp, Mr. Razak, and NPP Communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Razak.
Good morning, Esino.
How are you doing?
I thank God we're doing good.
Yeah, doing good.
Yes, everything is okay.
Right. How was the Valentine for you? And now you say you don't celebrate Valentine.
Yeah, as a Muslim, it is, forbidden.
Oh,
It's
really?
forbidden. Yes.
It's forbidden to celebrate Valentine.
Yes.
As a Muslim.
Yes, Muslims don't do, celebration when it comes to Valentine.
Really?
No, it's not accepted.
So you don't even get to give chocolate to anybody or receive some?
You can give something to somebody just, in a normal course of the day, but I don't think giving it in the name of Valentine. Well, mostly it is always the celebration and what happens in, those celebrations that the Islamic, religion forbids. But I'm not sure gifting someone something is in itself a crime.
Why? Is Valentine's Day a haram to you guys?
It is.
No, but how do you understand Valentine's Day?
Well, as I stated, it is the celebrations and the kind of things that happens. That is why.
Okay. So the activity, the kind of things
yes,
that happen. But
yes.
what happens on Valentine's Day?
Well, I have not
This
been
was just
to,
like
I've not
chocolates,
been-
bouquet.
I've not been to Valentine before, so I'm unable to tell exactly.
What happened?
But I'm told a lot of things do happen.
Oh.
Yes, I'm told a lot of things.
What did they tell you? I want to know. I want to know what they told you. Let me confirm.
Well, I've heard that there are celebrations, right?
Yes, people go out to have
and
dinner.
of all kind, celebrations of all kinds. So, and a statement like this, it carries a lot.
It carries a lot.
Yes, it carries a lot.
But Valentine's Day, they say a chocolate day. So
I'm not sure it's only chocolate.
I'll give you chocolate. I'll take chocolate. I'll tell you how I feel about you. Then I'm gone. What else? Unless
I'm not sure that's the end of it.
Oh, for me, that's the end of it for me.
Okay. But you see, the ordinary thinking is that when there's Valentine, you expect that people go out on a date, people go out to celebrate.
They enjoy.
And, that kind of a thing brings a lot of things in you. During the process, it brings a lot of things in.
Yeah, that one too.
Sure.
That one today. So that is what you people are avoiding.
Yeah, sure.
And also the intake of alcohol, because I know your people don't take
see,
alcohol.
That's one of the things.
So
too.
all of that. But if I give you chocolate, you take it, right?
Yeah, I'll take it.
You'll take it.
I mean, it's a gift, so I'll take it.
It's a gift, so you take it.
Yes.
But you just do not want to think that is a Valentine's Day something. That is why.
You see, the meaning of Valentine, I've not taken time to search for it. But I'm only worried about the celebrations that I've been told that it do takes place. But Valentine itself, I don't know what really it means.
I see.
Yes.
Valentine's Day is a nice thing. I also heard that on Valentine's Day there was a shortage of condom, and then also people even didn't want to buy a condom.
So
I don't know.
And
why?
These are some of the reasons why it is forbidden in Islam. Because the shortage of condom points to a certain direction, right?
Okay.
And Islam forbids fornication.
Yeah.
You understand?
Christian too.
You see, so
yeah.
Yes, I know Christians too forbid. So it's sad that these things keeps on happening. We are humans, we make mistakes, and so I feel that is why we are unable to strictly abide by the provisions in our Islamic teachings and the Christian teachings. But I really don't think gift in itself is a crime.
No.
But if you have to go to an extreme extent, that's where the problems come.
That's why. But if they say there's shortages of condom, what should I be telling us? Should it be telling us that our people fear pregnancy more than, STDs? You know, I watched an interview of one pharmacist and she was like, people are not even buying the condoms.
I think I've
I don't know if you saw it.
Yes, I've seen
People are not even buying it. When they come, they want to buy the pills rather than the condoms. And I'm like, so they are scared of pregnancy, but they are not scared of the disease,
the STCs and the
STCs and all of that that comes out.
These days it's becoming rampant.
Right.
The HIV in the system is getting scary. But a lot of people are not taking that into.
Oh yes, we are not taking that into consideration.
But it's sad.
Yeah, and that takes me to the Russian guy's video. I don't know if you've heard of it.
The way this thing pay me.
Oh, I do know someone there.
No, I do.
You don't know anybody.
But it's sad.
It's sad.
You know, for ordinary Ghanaian, for ordinary like a Ghanaian man,
yeah,
to get to have a date with a lady,
it's difficult.
Hey. Number one, you have to go through, talking stage. That's the number one. You go through talking stage before she would then determine whether or not to go on a date with you. After that, then she would determine whether or not she would have a relationship with you, as in man, boy, girlfriend relationship. After that, then the other things about sex and all of that comes in.
Maybe after 1 year
later. But for
a
white man from Russia, he just approach you. Ask you your name. You look nice.
Come with me.
Come and see my place. And that ends it. It is sad. I saw it and I find it very difficult to understand. Whether it's because of the skin or it's because of the fact that there's a presumption that he has money or something like that. I don't know.
Come on. But do you believe that people are desperate? To leave the country. That is why most of these ladies.
Yes, that can play a very good percentage of what happened, last week?
Yeah, last week.
Yes, so I think it's part of the reasons why they did that. But I think we should reorient ourselves. We should be able to understand who we are, and we should be able to accept ourselves. Like,
yeah,
it's not everybody that would leave the country. And even if that happens, and this also points to the direction of bad leadership. Because if you're okay in your country, I'm not sure but humans, we always want better. Even if you have the okay, you want better. After getting the better, you want the best. So, it's a sad situation.
Right.
Sad situation.
Anyway, so I'm trying to.
And it is alleged that the man is HIV patient.
Yeah, I heard.
You see, so what it means is that we now have a percentage of Ghanaians with HIV, even if we didn't have. and you see, it is going to keep spreading that way. Oh, child.
Right. So, what do you think the Ministry of Gender and gender can do about this whole situation? Because I've also seen in the news that the Minister for Communications, Sam George, has said that they are going to make sure that this man is dealt with. Why?
Sam George, or should I say or pre-dodo?
So you think there's nothing he can do about this situation?
Ken Oforiata's extradition, has it happened?
But this is
for over some should I say years now? Oh, you see, he's not going to be able to extradite him back to the jurisdiction.
Why? What makes you think he's not going to be able to?
You see, I'm looking at it with a lens that number one, the man did not coerce them into that action.
Not at all.
He did not.
Yeah.
And under in any ordinary circumstance, there was no coercion. And even if they were, they should have filed right in court. We have laws that govern or that deals with divorce and all of that.
Yeah.
So they file in court and the court will take its course. Right now, the man has left the country. He didn't force you into the act. The only problem is the fact that he published the post. You understand? Yeah. That's where there's going to be issue.
Yeah.
And, I'm not against the fact that they want to extradite him. But I believe, I'm just worried that the government has proven to be incompetent in terms of dealing with these issues. Look at all the fight that Sam George has, undertaken. All of the fights, he has failed in all the fights that he has undertaken, from DSTV to data prices, now to this, issue. So I believe Sam George hasn't been successful in all the things he has undertaken so far in government. You understand? That's why I believe he's not going to be successful. But I'll be really happy that the man is extradited to, account for what he has done.
He can't go scot-free.
No, it's sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. He can't take advantages of our ladies.
Should I say sex store? Or what was that? That was sex store,
sex
right?
Store.
Yes, he went on a sex store.
But Ghana is not the only country that he came
I learned he went to Kenya and Nigeria.
And all of that.
And even the Kenyan woman, I heard she's dead. She committed suicide.
And a lady also in Ghana, he also tried committing suicide, and then all of that. But
you see, there was one of them that I said, like, how about that's for this girl? Why? The man is moving and you are running after him. You ran and then you come and took the number.
Exactly.
And eventually,
would you say that they were naive, or maybe they were charmed, or?
I think this also points to the fact that there is some inferiority complex with us, because I'm not sure ordinary black man or ordinary Ghanaian man will get it easy as this.
Oh no, not at all.
You get it. So I'm not really certain as to what to believe, whether it was the skin or it was, the need for money on the part of the ladies. But I don't know. It is really an issue that we cannot understand.
It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. And we are just hoping that this man comes down to come and account for his actions. But as Mr. Razak said, also Sam George or Predator.
He has failed. He has failed in all the fights that he has undertaken.
He will shock you with this one.
Okay. A Russian national. You don't know.
Right.
And the first thing we should even be looking at is whether or not we have extradition agreement with the Russian government.
Would they even like to even?
If we don't have it, it's going to be difficult.
It's going to be very, very, very difficult. Because as you mentioned, these ladies were not forced.
Easy.
And when you pick you up, you ask you your age to make sure that you are not underage.
Yeah, you are not underage. So
these were grown women. So he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
Johnny.
Calm down. Calm down. Relax. The thing bash you.
I'm really sad. I'm really sad that our ladies are just taking cheap like. And the man made a comment too.
What did he
say? He made a comment that after testing Kenya and Ghana and Nigeria, he thinks Nigeria is better.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
That's sad. That's sad.
The way we like our ladies, the way we adore them, you just come and do them rubbish like that.
Some people were even married, but it is what it is. Right, so away from the Russian man, the white man, now let's come to Ghana. Let's come and deal with our issues. So the cocoa sector is actually facing some sort of crisis. You were not here last week. We had a very nice argument between people from your side and from the other side as well. I think we held that topic for 3 consecutive times.
Wow.
Because as time were going on, there were new developments on that topic. So you were not here to also join in the conversation. But since you are here and our NDC communicator is almost here, why don't you take advantage of that? And then let me hear your thoughts on it as well.
Yeah, sure. So the issue with Cocoa Board is something that, I stated the last time that the issue is not only about Cocoa Board. You see, generally we have rice farmers, beans farmers, soya beans farmers, and all of that. They are going through a lot in this country.
Especially the farmers.
Especially the farmers.
The farmers.
The farmers. You see, the issue with Cocoa Board, there are about 2 issues that is happening at Cocoa Board. Number one is the exchange rate situation with Cocoa Board. Government, we want government that when you are pumping dollars, when you are pumping the dollar into the forex market, what it means is that you are going to make the ordinary Ghanaian feel better because the cedi will come down. But the exporter is going to face challenges.
It's going to face challenges.
Today, if you export a bag of cocoa, the amount you get is going to be lesser than if the dollar was around 13 cedis or so. You understand? And this is one of the problems that cocoa is facing, because they are exporting the cocoa, and the money they are getting, if you convert it to cedi, you are going to have lesser currency, because it is not natural situation. You understand? Because it's not naturally flowing. That's why we are having this issue. The pumping of dollar into the cedi to make sure the forex to make sure the cedi is stable. It plays a role. And another issue was that if you listen to Good Evening Ghana yesterday, it was said that the cocoa board, their trading model has been that they do forward sales. The forward sales is that you go into the international market, and then there are people that are willing to buy cocoa that are not yet ready. You are at a certain price, and that's what they've been doing. But when Randy Abe, the incompetent CEO, came into office, he changed the trading pattern
to what?
To say that selling in the futures, that is the forward sales, does not generate enough revenue for the people. And he had announced that they are going to increase price of cocoa. Because of that, cocoa producers, they stopped bringing cocoa to the cocoa board, because they are expecting that when the price increases, then they will bring it and make more money. Do you understand the issue? And now there's a decrease in the price of cocoa. They are not even doing the forward sales. Now cocoa is stacked at cocoa board. They are not even able to sell. And you see, that's why they are unable to generate revenue to pay cocoa farmers and to fulfill their 6,000 promise.
But now it's been reduced.
Yes. And not only reduced, they cannot pay. That's a problem.
But
they cannot even pay with the reduction.
There's been a directive that they are going to pay them immediately.
Yeah, they are going to pay.
I don't know if they started paying them.
Going to pay. It's not paid. Right? So let's hold on until they pay.
Until they pay.
Right? So what we are saying is that you have the current finance minister, Atu Forsen, coming to tell us in parliament and on various platforms that they are going to increase the price of cocoa to 6,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, I saw that video.
He made a statement to the effect that cocoa farmers cannot be paid for, anything less than 3,000 Ghana cedis.
Less than 3,000.
Right. Today you are coming to pay them a paltry sum of 2,500. Not even something that we did. Maintain the status quo, at least 3,100 that we are, paying them.
Right.
You see, when we came into office in 2016, as of 2017, cocoa was, going for about, 475 Ghana cedis. At the end of 2024, December, cocoa farmers were paid for about 3,100 Ghana cedis. They were paid 3,100. You came into office with a promise that you are going to pay them 6,000 Ghana cedis, and that no cocoa farmer or cocoa farmers cannot be paid anything less than 6,000 Ghana cedis. And just about a year or so into office, you cannot even maintain the status quo. You are now reducing it to about 2,500.
They also mentioned issues with the global market. That
you see,
when it happens,
so these are some of the things we find it difficult to understand.
When it happens,
are they now telling us that the fact that we have, decrease in the price of fuel today is as a result of international market and not the competence of the government? Is that what they are telling us? So you see, in about 2023 or so, when there was, the increase in fuel prices or so, we came to tell the Ghanaian people that there is increase in the price at the international level. International crude had increased, right? And they told us that it is due to our incompetence and the mismanagement that is causing the increase in the prices of fuel.
But did they explain
exactly
to the Ghanaian people as such?
Yes, we did. We did explain to the Ghanaian people that international crude had increased, and for that matter, that is why we are experiencing the level of price increase in fuel. That's what we told Ghanaian people. But the NDC deceived them and lied to them that we are incompetent and we could not manage the economy. That's why we are having that increase. So today they cannot come with a defense that the prices of cocoa is going down because of international prices.
The global market prices.
You understand? They cannot say that. If they say that, then it means that the decrease in the fuel we are enjoying is because of the decrease in international crude, and not the competence of the government.
Right, but as it stands now, that is what is affecting the cocoa sector now.
That's what they are saying.
That's what they are saying.
That's what they are saying.
But because if you should compare the prices of
and look, let me tell you, in 2017 when we came, as at the time, cocoa was sold for $2,000, right? When we came into office, it reduced to about 1,900 and something. But President Akufo-Addo maintained the same amount that he was paying. He didn't decrease because of the decrease in the global market.
So how were you paying them? How did you finance them?
Because of the competence of the government, you find a way. You find a way to deal with.
So you took money from somewhere to pay these people?
No, you see, in government there's something we call contingency fund. Okay. Certain things to cater for a temporal change.
But was that right?
Is it?
Was that right? Couldn't you have engage the farmers and explain things to them that due to that? Because when it happens like that, it means that the government is running at a loss.
We intended, you see, farmers generally in this country are, under advantaged, right? So to empower that particular sector and to make it attractive for people to get engaged in so they get work to do, you don't at all times run it down with decrements and all of that.
So at the expense of the government's revenue.
And that is why, look, that's why I'm saying that if you have revenue and you have allocations, you make provisions for contingencies, situations that are unexpected. It was a temporary shift. And for that matter, we needed to fill in the gap at that particular instant. So we did it to make sure, the place is intact and not to run down the sector. And that is why we maintained it. And after that, the sector bounced back, right? And we kept it to the extent that we increased it from our 475 to 3,100. That's a massive increment. But you people came to tell us that. And look, I find it difficult to understand why you would want to promise Ghanaians, or you promise Ghanaians that you are going to increase prices of cocoa on the assumption that maybe the price of cocoa in the world market, when you know it determines how much you should pay, is going to increase. You don't make assumptions based on, and you don't assume that and promise the Ghanaian people. Look, just like we are facing now, you promise the Ghanaian people that you're going to increase cocoa back, say price of cocoa. Meanwhile, you know very well that it is the world or the global market that determines the price of cocoa.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was wondering
on what basis were you making such promises to the Ghanaian people?
Well,
that is incompetence. It simply points to the fact that we have incompetent government in office.
Right, but as part of the reforms that they brought on board, or they suggested, they mentioned that they are going to pass a bill to regulate the prices. If the global market prices is high, is going to, meaning that they are going to pay the cocoa farmers at a higher price, and if the global price market comes down, they are going to pay them at a lower price. So right now they are going to establish a bill that is going to regulate the producer price for cocoa, and even for the cocoa farmers. Yeah, I don't know if that is a big relief.
Well, I think it's a good one.
It's a good one.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah, right.
But for now, we want them to adhere to the promises. You see, in government, when you are in government, you see things differently than when you are in opposition.
Exactly.
Right? So because they wanted power, they didn't know that to promise people, the Ghanaian cocoa farmers, 6,000 Ghana cedis, knowing very well that it is determined by global market, right, is dangerous. Today they are coming to tell us that the global world market determines the price. Meanwhile, you promise them 6,000, and it is based on the 6,000 that they voted for you into office.
Right, but at that time the prices were quite, encouraging. I think that is why.
Look, these were not explained to the Ghanaian people.
Well,
if you had told them that, look, vote for us, when we come and there's global price increase, we'll increase your price, that is understandable. You didn't tell them that.
Right. But looking at the reforms they've suggested so far, do you think that that is a relief to the farmers?
The reform, as in the law that they are going to pass?
Not just the law, the cutting down, and also ordering the Attorney General to also investigate.
This is rather escalating the situation.
How is it
because
going to
look,
escalate the issue?
If you have been on the media, you'd see that people are cutting down their cocoa trees.
They are cutting it down.
Yes. And they are now turning cocoa farms to galamsey farms. Now cocoa farmers are using their lands to do galamsey. Right? And there are videos all over. where cocoa farmers are cutting down their cocoa trees. There's a video I saw, the cocoa farmers are cutting down cocoa trees, and there's an excavator on the land.
But how sustainable is that?
Digging for gold.
But how sustainable is that? Because immediately they finish digging that hole, they are moving to another place. So once they give you that money is gone. Rather than you planting trees that you be gaining money, let's say huge sum of money every month or even every year.
They are not giving huge sum of money. No.
But at least
they are not. Look, the issue is that they are not even being paid. Even with a decrease in the prices, they are not being paid, right? So if I am farming on a land, you take my cocoa and you're not giving me the money, how do I survive? These people have children in schools. They have children in universities and the primary schools and all other sectors. They need money to finance the people to be able to get education that they need. They need money to take care of their families. They need money to do all sort of things. So to not pay them and you expect that they don't cut down the cocoa tree and use the land for other things that in the meantime they will get money. What are you talking about? I mean, the land is there. The land is there. Mm-hmm. They need money. Can you imagine not eating for a single day? You know how it feels.
I don't know if you've seen videos of what's his name? Is it Kwabena Ejampo, who admitted that the cocoa sector, there were crises even during administration before the current administration took over.
But they allege that our prices were our time it was better.
Our time was better. I mean, your prices were higher than what it is now.
It's about time we stop the politics of associating whatever bad to the previous government and whatever good to the current government. Right? That's what they are doing.
But it started
because
from somewhere.
They are not telling us that the decrease in the price of fuel is as a result of the policies we led for them. But because cocoa sector, the prices has gone down, they are saying that we caused the issue at cocoa. How does that make sense? A government that is running away from its incompetence, from its failures. I mean, it's over a year in government too. So you start taking responsibility for some of the things you are doing. They should be bold enough to take responsibility for some of their, wrongdoings and their incompetence.
But you and I know that.
Look, let me tell you.
It started from somewhere.
That means the decrease in fuel or the current fuel prices started somewhere.
If that is what you want to say, that's okay.
That means it is not the work of this government.
It's okay. I don't know.
You should know. So what I'm saying is that if you agree that we caused the mess at cocoa today that we are experiencing, then it means that the decrease in the fuel prices was orchestrated by us.
But because already people are saying that you started, you should be taking credit for all of these things. So
we're saying that, look,
then it should be what it is.
But you see, it is another thing to say that we caused the issue at cocoa because the manager as a then was a competent person. Randy Abe has proven to be incompetent.
Let's look at why are we. The issue has come up. Why are we? How do I put it, or what's the right word to use? Why are we relating the issue to the individual there? Is it because during Randy Abe's time he was very vocal on the issue of cocoa? That is why people are saying that he's been incompetent.
I associate it with Randy Abe.
Why?
Simply because
you think he's not fit for the job.
No. Wait. Let me make my submission.
Right.
Because one, when he came into office, or when he was appointed and he assumed work, he changed the trading model. That's one thing. So changing the trading model would definitely come with consequence. And the fact that this government keeps pumping, dollar into the forex market, you understand? We have told you that, look, decrease the way you intervene in the international forex market. Last year it was about they intervened to the tune of $10 billion. $10 billion into the forex market, and you expect that exporters will be able to make money to cater for the expenses they are supposed to make. How is that possible?
Right.
So Randy Abe coming to change the trading model shows the heights of incompetence on the part of the individual, right? Because coming to make a statement that you are going to increase cocoa price, as even knowing very well that it is determined by the global price market, then it shows how incompetent you are.
So you believe that if there should be a reshuffling and they change
as quickly as possible.
And they change Randiabe. Things will get better.
As quickly as look for someone. If you have followed Randiabe, he made he made a very the issue at Cocoa Board. He took a very keen interest in it. And so we expected that for someone who had this kind of interest in the issues at Cocoa Board, you should have a clear-cut idea as to how to manage the sector. They have given the sector to you over a year now, and you have messed up the whole place.
Right.
Meanwhile, in opposition, you use your platform to help the opposition party as a then to do a very rigorous campaign on this cocoa issue. Meanwhile, you didn't have an idea, you didn't have a clue as to how to run the sector. It is sad that, look, when we are making appointments, I want to plead with John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. When we are making appointments to certain offices, it is important we get the competent people, the people that have the capacity of handling the issues at that sector, right? Because this is a responsibility that you are supposed to take. So you make sure that whatever is going on in the sector, you get a competent person to man the place. Look, it is not all the person that can talk that knows how to deal with situations.
Right. Mr. Razak, let me welcome my guest.
You can welcome your guest, but you see, I feel sad that our cocoa farmers
some cocoa farmers are actually
and generally
some cocoa
farmers in the country are going through this under this government.
Some cocoa farmers have welcomed it and they are okay with it. So
we know them. We know them, Papa. They are NDC.
They are NDC,
and we saw them with.
Who want to
I saw a video where those who came out to make that welcoming address with the general secretary of the NDC, Nketia. I said Nketia.
Oh, okay.
We saw
national
them.
Chairman.
Yeah, so we know that it was an organized something where they organize in the office and they go to the bush to make that declaration. We know that.
But it's also alleged that Miracles Abuachi took your national executive to the farm to also go and do propaganda.
No, what we are doing, you see, the People's Forum. Crisis. If you look at the People's Forum, we go from farm to farm, we go from place to place, just to hold the government accountable, ensure that they, deliver on the mandate that is given to them.
Right.
Sure.
To the man in pink, good morning to you. We have joining us right here in the studio, Mr. Gausu Zamani.
Yes.
Yeah, Zamani. I'm sorry, forgive me.
Yeah.
Mr. Zamani.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
The way you are smiling, I can see your Valentine went well.
As the government in power, trust me, our focus is mainly based on positioning Ghana well and then making sure the people smile at the end of the day. As for Valentine, every day we celebrate Valentine.
Every day is Valentine.
Every day is Valentine for us.
One says every day is Valentine.
You don't have specific days.
Right, I see that. You don't have a specific day to say,
yes,
I love you.
Yes.
But did you see the romantic message from the president to the first lady?
When the funny thing about it, I didn't see the president's. I didn't saw it on the president's wall, but the way people were sharing it, I saw the opposition side. Trust me, you could clearly see that love is sweet.
Another press conference loading.
You saw the beautiful roses our mother was holding.
I saw that.
Clearly shows that yes, and the people received that sword. Trust me.
I know, right?
I saw
the knows how to chop love. Oh, yes. He's showing us the way. We'll learn. Mr. Razak, learn.
They are learning. They wish it happened at their time, but we never saw a picture like that.
Right. You're welcome once again.
Thank you so much. Thank
you
so much.
Before you stepped in, we were actually discussing the cocoa sector issue and all of that. Our time is fast spent, but I feel like it will be unfair if I also do not give you the opportunity. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to share briefly and what do you think about the reforms they've brought so far.
All right, thank you so much for this opportunity. First of all, I want to say good morning to your viewers and the listeners. We are in a very new week, and then we pray and hope that this week goes well. You see, it saddens my heart when I see the MPP trying to make a point out of what is happening in the cocoa sector today, knowing clearly that they are just coming out of power. Just 2024, you were in government. 2023, you were in government, and today, such thing has happened, and you want to come out and want to tell us that you have the moral rights to comment on something that you have accumulated there. Whatever is happening in the cocoa sector is not a 9-day wonder. It didn't just happen. It is an accumulation of recklessness. It is an accumulation of mismanagement. See, the tons of cocoa that Ghana used to produce prior to MPP taking over governance was higher in their whole administration. And the amount of debts that the previous administration have left in the cocoa sector, my sister, you leave this kind of debt there, telling us that the NDC government, knowing very well that, and you, your party, knowing very well that the price of cocoa is not only determined or is not conjured from the skies. The price of cocoa, we don't sit in an office somewhere to determine the price of cocoa, but you know clearly that the price of cocoa is determined by the world market price. The price of cocoa is also determined as how the exchange rate is looking at. Just 2024, when the world market price was high, the cocoa farmers deserved as much as 6,000 Ghana cedis. How do you call it? For a sale of bag. But you never gave it to them that. The minority then what? Came to what? Draw your attention to it. You turn a blind eye to it. And today, whatever is happening there, when you take your calculators and calculate, trust me, they should tell us where we are cheating the farmers. They should tell us where the cheat is.
Depending on the global
Depending
market.
on whatever is happening now. They should just come out and tell us that this and this is happening, and for that matter, we see it as a cheat to the farmers. Nobody can say that, but what they do is to parade their police station officials, people that have never farmed pepper. They parade these people in a cocoa farm and then give microphone to them, script whatever they want to say, and these people tend to pour it out. We are not saying that whatever is happening within the cocoa sector or the way price has come down, the government is happy about it. No, the government is not happy about it. And for that matter, the government has put in measures in place to ensure that whatever solutions we are going to give to the crisis happening there is not going to be a short-term thing, but rather a long-term thing that is going to help the sector.
That is going to help.
We are managing a sector where we borrow to buy. Domestically, we don't get enough. And for that matter, the prices within this sector are being dictated by foreigners. So this government is making sure that you push measures in place to ensure that we can buy some amount of a huge sum of it locally, just so that we can also have a say in the pricing. And I think this is the right direction, rather than coming to say and around the abe this and around the abe this, forgetting that just 2024 you are in government. You are in government.
Right. Thank you, Mrs. Zamani. Thank you. That was a very brief one from Mrs. Zamani on the crisis of the cocoa board issue. Right. I think at this juncture we are going to dive straight into our main topic for discussion for this morning. So there's been a new development on the case of Ken Ofori-Atta. Ken Ofori-Atta is in the news again. And this time around, well, let's dive into the issues and let's see what is happening. The International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, has deleted the red notice issued against Ghana's former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. According to Interpol's own review body, the request appeared to be a predominantly political character and did not meet its neutrality standards. That decision has triggered serious debate here at home. A lot of people are talking about it. There's been issue, was Ghana's case legally weak? That are some of the issues they are asking. Was it the incompetence of the OSP or the Attorney General? Did the authorities misjudge the process? Were there some irregularities? Or is this a sign that anti-corruption efforts are being interpreted internationally as political battles? Does deleting a red notice mean the allegation disappear? There's a whole lot of questions a lot of people are asking. So this morning we are just going to dive into it. Let me hear from you as well. So Ofori-Atta's red notice has been scrapped. they've taken it off from the system, from the database, simply because they said it's predominantly political. First of all, let's get the keywords. When they say predominantly political character, what does it mean? Let me start with you, Mr. Isaac.
Okay, so thank you very much. You see, the word Interpol, there are certain issues that they do not deal with. Some of the issues include political, issues, and then issues that has to do with religion, and some other issues I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So after reviewing the case against Ken Ofori-Atta, the commission came to the conclusion that it is predominantly political. And so what it means is that it is political victimization, political prosecution, and not on the substance of corruption.
Okay.
You understand? That is why the commission had to scrap the notice. But you see, this is a twist to the extradition request that we are having with the United States, even though the process has started, but the lawyers of Ken Ofori-Atta are fighting it. And I feel that having come to the conclusion that this is political, if you remember, the last time I came here, I made a statement to the effect that the UN Convention Against Torture, under Article 3, it says that where there is substantial grounds for believing that a person, when extradited to a certain jurisdiction is going to face torture,
correct,
or is going to be tortured, then the extradition will not happen. So I feel like the issue is taking a twist, and is going to, even though the OSP released a statement describing the removal of the red notice as irrelevant and something of that sort,
because they found him and they know his location now.
Yes, that's what he said. But you see, this sends a signal, and I'm scared.
What signal is that?
The signal is that there's a possibility that the extradition agreement is going to fail.
It's going to fail?
Yes, it's going to fail.
It will take us to do the whole process
because,
again.
Look, if it is established that the issue is predominantly political, then there's a possibility that the person, when extradited back to the jurisdiction of Ghana, is going to face torture.
So what they are saying
and
is that,
considering the issues that has transpired over the years, or over the last 1 year, when they came into office, we had Chairman Wontumi and other members of the NPP, the opposition party, are being arrested, even though we've not seen a clear torture. But when Wontumi came out, we all saw in the videos that he was limping, right? We don't know what happened to him, so I'm not supposed to draw conclusions on that.
Right.
But relying on that and other issues that has happened so far, it will be right to conclude that the man is not going to be treated humanly when he's extradited back to the jurisdiction. But you see, as a Ghanaian, I feel that whenever or where we believe that there are charges against Ken Ofori-Atta, Ken Ofori-Atta must come back and answer for the charges.
Exactly.
Right? That's what my believing. You cannot run away from from some of the things that you've done when you were in power. Right? So, as a public official, and a lot of people do say that the moment they are giving you an office, a public office, you should bear at the back of your mind that there's a day that you'll be called to account for your stewardship. Right? And so I expected that he should be able to come and account for his stewardship. However, if there are substantial grounds for believing that he's going to be treated inhumanly, then that is where we are going to have issues. Because we have seen in this country where these people blatantly disregard the law, and they did certain things that you wonder whether we still run a 1992 constitution is still in place, or whether we still have, the democracy that we so much cherish. And one of the things is, one, when they arrested Martin Kpebu, right?
Yeah.
Lawyer Martin Kpebu.
Yes.
Do you know the grounds on which he was arrested?
For false.
He was arrested on issues that are civil in nature. Issues that ordinarily you go to court, file a case against him or file charges against him, he will come and answer. most of these civil cases, you don't arrest the person and keep him in detention. That's a blatant disregard for the law. Right? And we have issues of this nature. Article 14, that tells you that, look, you have the liberty, and your liberty must not be taken away from you unless, and if you are arrested, look, let me just state it. If you have been arrested, you are not supposed to be kept in detention for 48 hours, more than 48 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
They arrested certain government officials, kept them in detention for more than 48 hours, even without charging them to court. And the law is expressly clear under Article 14 that if you are arrested and you are kept in detention, when it's about 48 hours, you process the person to go to court. So this blatant disregard for the law is what we or Ken Ofori-Atta is scared of. That when he comes back, they are going to disregard the law and he'll be treated as though he's a convict. Meanwhile, he's an accused person. And our laws have made provisions where someone who is not in the jurisdiction can be tried. For example, the case of Sedna Tamaklu. The woman was, arrested in absentia. We are still fighting for her extradition. It has not been successful. But we expect that, given that she was, convicted in absentia, same procedure can be used against Ken Ofori-Atta. So that after finding him, guilty of such offenses, you can then extradite him back. And that should be easy for us as a country. Given that we have extradition agreement with the United States and all of that. So I feel that this amounts to some of the incompetence of this government. I don't know the case they filed with the Interpol.
Or even how they...
I don't know the evidence they submitted that led to the conclusion that it was predominantly political in nature.
Right. Mr. Samani, your thoughts?
All right. First of all, whatever case is happening between the state and then Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, there's a need for us to take the political lens of and look at the country as a whole, and then the people that we tend to give power to manage our systems. It is highly unfortunate that something of this nature is happening, where you tend to rule, or you tend to give certain directions, and then when it's time for you to account for it, you are nowhere to be found. First of all, when this whole Ofori-Atta issue started popping up, and the OSP trying to reach Ofori-Atta in order to get him to answer certain questions, I think his lawyers came out to tell us that Ofori-Atta wasn't in a good condition, and for that matter, he's receiving medical treatment. And when ICE arrested him, I'm sure we all saw footages of Ofori-Atta. We saw pictures of him, and as I'm speaking to you now, he's still in the custody of ICE. And nowhere in ICE statements have they told us that Mr. Ofori-Atta is ill or is receiving medical treatment with them. This clearly shows us that there has been a foul play or a misinformation there, and this is not in good spirit. And for that matter, if my brother is telling us that Ofori-Atta should be tried in absentia, there are mechanisms available to us. And if the OSP decides to do what, with the aid of the extradition treaty that we have with the United States, go to use that one and then get Mr. Ofori-Atta, I think it's in the right direction, right? Yes, but let's look at it from this direction. As it stands now, we don't have a full report on why the Interpol have decided to delete the red notice on Mr. Ofori-Atta. And if anyone should tell me that Mr. Ofori-Atta's case is being politicized or highly political or politically motivated, I'll look at the person and then laugh. How? Why? Who appointed the OSP? On whose tenure was the OSP appointed?
Obviously, then another.
On whose tenure was this OSP, this Ofori-Atta issue started popping up? Even his own members of parliament. We had members of parliament who had wanted Ofori-Atta out. We had members of parliament who held a press conference just to get Oforiatta out. If Interpol should tell us that there is no enough evidence and this case is politically motivated, please let's give them the the KPMG report. Please let's tell them that his own cousin, the former president Akufo-Addo, issued a white letter on him. We should tell them that just at the back door of Parliament there is a big pit there, of which he supervised and issued fund for it. We should let them know that the GRA had a deal, or the GRA who is in charge of what? Taking taxes. These mandates was taken from GRA and then given to SMM. This alone is enough evidence. This alone is enough evidence for
them
us.
To say
for
the
them.
issue is not political.
And you see, this is one thing that we all should know about Interpol. Interpol does not enforce extradition.
So what do they do?
So what Interpol does is that Interpol is just there as an institution to assist the country or wherever an extradition request is coming from. And you see,
so they are there to assist.
They are there to assist.
Just to assist.
Assist.
But not to take.
Not to forcefully enforce the extradition. And you see, it is even reside on the other country or wherever the persons find himself on the value that they are going to place on the extradition request. So the extradition request can be given to United States of America, and they will decide that, oh, even this thing we don't want to pay heed to it, and it's Interpol can do nothing about it, and this person can move from country to country depending on whatever country will put value on the request. You get what I'm saying? So for that matter, we shouldn't hold Interpol too much. And here lies the case now as I'm speaking to you. We know the location and where Oforiatta is right now.
Yeah.
So even if when Interpol say they've deleted his red notice, I don't think that should be a big deal for us.
Is it not going to affect
the problem is that
his extradition process? I'll be back.
So, as I'm speaking to you now, Oforiatta is in the hands of the the ICE, who is in charge of the immigrations and all those things. So, as I'm speaking to you now, there has been a first hearing of his extradition case, looking at the premise on which he needs to be extradited back to the country, and I think when that premise is being made, and whatever things need to be done right after that, I'm sure it will be done.
It will be done.
Yes, I'm sure it will be done. Yeah.
Right, Mr. Isaac, let me hear from you.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is that dropping the red notice on him means that he is now going to be given the liberty to travel to any part of the country or any part of the world that he wishes to.
Yeah.
And that can further cripple the extradition agreement and request that is in place right now. Look, he's undergoing the process with ICE, and the fact that the red notice has been taken off means that he can travel. There's no ban on him. You understand? Initially the red notice
he has been detained.
He has been
detained. He's in detention right now. He's in the custody of ICE. So this Oforiatta cannot.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that taking off the red notice on him, it gives him the liberty to travel to wherever he wants to. And you see, initially it was said that he had visa to should I say United Kingdom or so. He has a visa to UK. So what it means is that he can now travel to UK without any hindrances. So given that, well, let's move on. I think I would rest my case here because I've if you look at the development so far, you see someone that has been convicted already, we are unable to extradite the person. This issue is still in course, but we know because it is political in nature, the attention has been taken off the issue of Sedna Tamaklo, who misappropriated over $90 million Ghana cedis. They are not putting that as a priority. right? Ken Oforiatta, because he's a member of the NPP, an opposition party, you see how vociferous they are with his issue. Meanwhile, misappropriation of public funds and someone who has already been convicted, that should be easy for us as a nation to do. So the worry is that if we are dealing with corruption and its related activities, the line should be applied, straight across.
Right.
Let's not treat others with, some level of decorum, and then when it comes to another person, we are so vociferous. Look at the case against Collins Dowda, Honorable Collins Dowda, and other over 10 members of the NDC, to even think that they have the moral right and they are so much interested in dealing with corruption in the government. The Attorney General entered nolle prosequi to discontinue over 10 cases against members of the NDC. Just in 1 month of their government. Right? This issue was in court. Right? There are issues of public funds, misappropriation of public funds. Attorney General cannot relax and allow the process to go through the court process. They cannot allow them stand trial, and then we'll see the verdict at the end of the day. Upon assumption into office, you discontinue such cases, and you are now following Ken Oforiatta here and there. What do you think you are doing?
You were in power. You were in power for 8 years. You were in power for 8 years.
This is what they say.
You could not extradite Ferdinand Tamaklo.
Let me tell you.
You could not extradite Ferdinand Tamaklo. But as I'm speaking to you now, Ferdinand Tamaklo is in the custody of ICE. With the aid of this government, Ferdinand Tamaklo is in the custody of ICE and is looking towards extradition. So if you are here and you are making reference to Ferdinand Tamaklo, we all know what happened with the current finance minister's case with regards to the ambulance issue. We saw what the former Attorney General did. Blatant display of incompetence. You could clearly see that he was clearly outside the ethics and code of conduct of the judicial service. How a person or an appointee of government, as a matter of fact, the Attorney General should behave. We saw him going around trying to pin people down, make it politically motivated and all that. At the end of the day, we saw what the court did. They discharged and acquitted the finance minister. All this has happened in this country. So if you are here and you are talking about politically motivated issue, and moreover, Oforiatta's case is not even handled by the how do you call it, the Attorney General. It is handled by the person that you yourself appointed into power.
Right. But in your point of view, do you think that the OSP rushed with the red notice request?
So I think OSP, in his own knowledge, trying to use the mechanisms available to him, and then issuing a red notice on Oforiatta is in the right direction. And as I said earlier, as it stands now, we don't know the full ruling of Interpol's decision to take Oforiatta off their red notice. And I think it will be appropriate if we all can wait and have access to it, and then see how the defense went and see the lapses in there. This is not something that I think the NDC is so much interested in. No, the NDC has less interest in this issue. But what we are just going to do is to give all the support that the OSP need in order to do or to try this issue, because we all know the mess this man has caused. We saw what we saw what this man did for the first time in this country. This is the man that shaved people haircuts, Sakura, they could not see their way. We saw old men and old men, pensioners at this moment. We saw pensioners crying and picketing at the Ministry of Finance, and this man only came out to give a Bible quotation, not knowing he was duping us. And just after power switched, he is nowhere to be found in this country. He is nowhere to be found. So I think, as for NDC party, we are just going to give the OSP all the support that he needs, and then get Oforiatta back to this country. And now that he is in the custody of ICE, trust me, Oforiatta will not go off the radar. He will not go off the radar. The fact that he has been taken off Interpol red notice doesn't mean there are no other mechanism, or meaning there can't be a request for a reintroduction. It can be done again. And now that he can't go anywhere and Ghanaians know where he is, why not?
Right. Mr. Razak, do you believe that the OSP rushed this whole thing? Because we saw that he published one and then he deleted it again and then came with a second one. I don't know if you noticed that too.
You see, I have an issue with the Office of Special Prosecutor. I don't know whether it is incompetence on his part or so. I don't know, but given that he published, and that means, well, we are all humans. We can make mistakes. So I wouldn't deal with that, on the by saying that he's incompetent. No, but given the circumstances and how things have unfolded so far, I think the OSP is a bit incompetent. I hold a view that office should be taken off.
Yeah.
I hold that view that it should be taken off completely. It has underperformed so far, and there's no reason why we should be spending. Last was it last 2 years or so, or last year we spent about 300 and something million Ghana cedi in that office, with no returns. So I mean that office should be taken off.
Right. Should the OSP publicly release the basis of the request? Would you say that they should?
The basis of the request his extradition.
Yeah. And let's see how it went, and let's know if indeed
I've held this view for a long time, and the view is that extradition agreement, I'm not against it. As I've stated, I said the man should be able to come and account for his stewardship. Misappropriation of public funds is a crime.
It's a crime.
And we all know that whoever is involved in that matter should be dealt with according to law. That's what we want to see. So he must come, account for his stewardship. But you see, we run a democracy, and so we want to see that the rule of law is at play. We want to see that the principles of democratic governance is adhered to strictly, and not disregarding the law and doing certain things out of the the provisions of the constitution and our laws. So it is on this basis that we are saying that the government is clearly not doing what the law says they should do, given the circumstances and the instances that are transpired so far. So we're saying that Ken Ofori-Atta should return, account for his stewardship. But given that he's also challenging the extradition request, we have other provisions and other means that we can take. Why are we not exploring that? I mean, we should explore that if we have to. If he's supposed to be convicted, then he's convicted, and that's it. Just like said Nantamaklo. Then you extradite all of them back. What do you want to see? I
mean, would you say that they should publish the request?
Oh yes. Today there is a court that is in the public eye, where people have their own perception on how issues are. Just as my brother has made his stand very clear. I'm sure that is his stand, and that of the stand of the political party, that Ofori-Atta should be extradited back to the country. And if the OSP should make the reasons public, I'm sure it will help some of us to also, we the ones that have interest in national issues, also know how to do what, position our arguments, and this will even assist or help assist the OSP in getting Ofori-Atta back. There are citizens that have interest in this matter, and for that matter, if there is any contribution that they also can contribute in order to get Ofori-Atta back, so when it is being published, the people can also contribute to their quota, because to rule a country, it is not done by one person or one office. It is not done by one person. It is a hand-to-hand thing. And I like the fact that my brother is highly in support of the fact that OSP should be brought, the Ofori-Atta should be brought back, and he has seen what Ofori-Atta has done. He has seen what the mess Ofori-Atta has caused us. Yes, and for that matter, we need he himself to come and then answer questions. There's no need for a lawyer to come. So far as
let me correct this. I have not alleged that OSP sorry, Ken Oforiatta has done something wrong. What I'm only saying is that if the state has issue against him, he should be able to come and answer to that challenge.
It's as simple as that. You've made that known, and we clearly understand.
Yes,
you.
No, but
so
to suggest that I have seen or know what Ken Oforiatta has done.
Oh, so are you trying to tell me that you don't know that a $50 million has been spent on a cathedral that is yet to be seen?
Upon all of that, it's been over a year. Right, it's been over a year. What's the report on the cathedral? Why are you not bringing? Look, charge the person in court, right, and stop the public and the PR. Stop the gimmick. Charge the person if you have to.
That is why he's been charged.
What are the charges against him?
Oforiatta, are you trying to tell me you don't know the charges against him? Then on what basis are you requesting for his extradition?
No, wait.
Wait. If you tell me you don't know the charges against Oforiatta, then you are trying to be a hypocrite, and that shouldn't be it.
Look,
you know very well the deal, the SML deal. If you tell me you don't know that, and that is even the basis on which this extradition is being carried out. You understand me? That is the basis on which this extradition is being carried out. So if you tell me there is no case on Oforiatta, then I don't know. I have not stated
that there is no case against Ken Oforiatta.
That is what you said.
No, I didn't say that. Unless you didn't hear me well. What I'm saying is that you charge the person in court, right? Let the process begin. Do you understand? Let the process begin. Wait. Let the process begin in court, right? Just as it happened to Sedna Tamakulu.
I don't know why you are making reference.
He was available.
I don't know why
she was convicted in absentia.
I don't know why you are making reference to Sedinam Tamakulu.
Because she must
there are so many ways to fight to take on legal battles. And there are mechanisms available. If the OSP decide not to go Sedinam Tamakulu ways and go this way to get Oforiatta back to the country, to answer him, get him into a box, and then ask questions and get answers from him, I think it's in the right direction. So why do you
we are only tired as Ghanaians that you run to the media each and every day to tell us that this person has committed.
So you don't like to be, is it that you don't like to be updated or what?
I said we are tired.
How you and who?
Because
you and who are tired?
As of now, Ghanaians expected that the man should have, either been convicted or been standing trial.
But how long did
the extradition request was sent long ago? Today, the extradition request is still in process. The man is fighting it. So why not take another option to establish his guilt?
What led to the arrest of Oforiatta?
Can you please allow me speak?
Oh no, I'll allow you speak, but let's take this. What led to the arrest of Oforiatta?
Because there are allegations of corruption against him.
Excellent.
Excellent. So what I'm saying is that if you have a fact and you think that there are allegations, corruption issues that he has undertaken, you charge the person. Right? Instead of always coming to tell us that he did wrong, and nothing is happening.
So you are suggesting
this is simply what I'm saying.
He should be charged in absentia.
Charge him, and then when he's convicted in absentia, the extradition process is still there. At any time, you can request for his extradition.
So who then answers the questions?
He will have a representation.
But he's supposed to be in court himself to answer if he's guilty or not.
I said our laws provide for that, right? And that's what the same thing they relied on to charge, to convict Tamakulu, said in Tamakulu. So what we're saying is that simple. If you think that the person has done something wrong, begin the trial in court. Do you understand? Begin the trial. Because look, how long are we going to wait for him to be extradited? How long? Considering that you keep on telling that he did something wrong, he did wrong, and you are not charging him.
But Mr. Zamani,
you want extradition,
do you think that if that was possible, wouldn't they have done that long ago?
The fact that my brother doesn't want to understand that. The fact that my brother doesn't want to understand that these are legal mechanisms, and you choose which one you want to use. Yes, Oforiatta can be charged, and the case will be run in his absentia. It can be done that way. But the OSP, seeing how serious the case is, need the man himself to do what? To answer some questions. And in that way, mechanisms available to us is this Interpol and then the use of ICE to get this to get him back to the country.
Was that the same process used for Tamaklo as well?
Yes.
So she was never in court.
Yes. Said in was said in Tamaklo arrested in your tenure?
She was not in court. But,
hello.
But the trial began in this country. The process went through, and she was convicted.
Arrest warrant. See.
So what? So she was available, and she was convicted.
She was not in the country.
See.
She had run to the United States.
She had run. I just like the fact that we've made the premise that Ovoriata need to come back and come and answer questions. I like the fact that that has been made. Yes.
Himself. I like the fact that it is normal. It is normal that
I like the fact that has been made.
If you have held public office, you should know that there will be a day that you will be required to answer some questions. It's not a
good. So now that premises have been laid, I think we can move on.
Yeah. So yes. You see, so we are saying it in relation to some of the things that we think that, or he believes that his human rights are going to be disregarded.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that he has seen, incidents of that nature.
What has he seen?
He has seen that.
You are making reference. So
let me say.
You are making reference to how do you call it? Not the chairman. Chairman Wuntumi's case. That Chairman Wuntumi was arrested and whatever.
And when he came out,
he was limping. As for that, people, those gimmicks. And there's a certain thing they will be. So there's a certain thing they will be to me.
Let me come.
Chairman
Wuntumi was arrested for over a week. Without a charge. They never charged him over a week, and he was in their custody. Go and read Article 14. What does it say? You can't keep him for more than 48 hours. A week, how many hours? Isn't that disregard for the law?
But don't you
think this is simply what you're saying.
Did he meet the bail conditions?
No, it was after 1 week. It was even after close to a month that they gave the bail condition.
Right.
You sit here and you lie. You sit here and you want to lie. This man has been arrested, could not meet bail condition, was fighting his bail condition. You are telling me that he's been detained.
What about Martin Kpebu's issue? A civil case. What about Martin Kpebu? They arrested him on the grounds of civil case. And you think it's not disregard for the law? I'm not lying.
Are you trying to tell me that you cannot be detained on civil matters?
Which civil matters are you going to be detained
on? No, are you trying to tell me that you cannot be detained on civil matters?
No, that's what I'm saying.
On what grounds?
Our laws provide you cannot be detained on civil matters.
On what grounds?
You charge the person. It is after he's convicted then you can arrest him.
What are you
telling me? That's what I'm saying.
What are you telling me?
So on which who has ever been arrested on civil cases?
So how do you call it? How do you call it? Chairman Wuntumi today is fighting a civil matter and then a criminal matter. I'm sure you are aware of that.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
And then his detainment had a slice of the civil matter and then the criminal matter.
It was basically on the criminal matter. Look, I've told you that if I have a contract with you, and there's a breach of contract, you don't arrest me. Do you understand? If upon request for me to perform my part of the contract, I fail, you sue me in court. You don't arrest me. That's not what we do in the country. Maybe you can go and look for more information on that. Right. You don't arrest me. You go and sue me in court. I'll come and make my case. Do you understand? And the court will judge on the matter.
Right. So now that this red notice has been scrapped, does that mean that we will have to request for it again, or we can still proceed?
No, the red notice you don't have to, because he's in detention already.
Right. So we can still proceed without it.
Yes, the process will still go.
The process can still go on without it. But looking at all that has unfolded, how we measure the credibility of both the Attorney General and then the OSP?
So this is where we see that there's a little bit of politicization in the matter, just as the red notice stated. Interpol stated. You see, if at the end of the day we are told that it is political, then there is a presumption that the Attorney General and the OSP are not doing due diligence, or they are simply want to prosecute the person, on that political persecution. That's what I should say.
Right.
They are following the case because he's an opposition member, and not substantially on the grounds of corruption and all the alleged allegations against him. Because if indeed this issue is not politicized, Interpol would not have found that the commission would not have found out that it is highly political. So the credibility of OSP and the Attorney General is at stake.
It's at stake.
Because it simply points to the fact that what they are doing is a political bid, and not really dealing with the issues or the substance of the matter. Yes.
Mr. Zamani, will you also say it as such?
Not really.
Not really.
Because as it stands now, as I said earlier, we are yet to see the full blame of the whole show. We only read from the lawyers of the Oforiatta telling us that the Interpol is saying the case is politically motivated.
Yes,
you understand me? That is what the Oforiatta lawyers are saying. So right now we want to see that the full report from the Interpol, and then get to accept and then appreciate how the whole argument went. You understand me? So I think let's just leave it there. Let's not go too much into it and then trying to make it look this one, for the fact that the party NDC has no interest in whatever is happening between Oforiatta and then the OSP. But the support to give the OSP to run his office, the party is ready to do that. And what we are not going to condone is criminality. We are not going to allow that to happen. And for that matter, how the OSP decides to fight this case is with the OSP. And I don't think the OSP is doing a bad job. Although personally I have some issues with the way he executes his work. I have one or two issues with it. But aside that, I think the OSP is doing a good job. That of the office of the Attorney General is doing a fantastic job, bringing criminals to crime perpetrators to the book, as we've seen what is happening to how do you call it, Chemaun to me and all those people that have mismanaged funds and then caused the country some huge harms. Yeah.
Right. Would it be too quick to call out names that someone has failed? Would it be too quick to judge that maybe it's the OSP that has failed or something? No. I think we should be patient. The case is still being fought. The fact that he has been taken off the red notice doesn't mean he has been acquainted. No. The case is being fought. So it is too early to judge and say the OSP is not doing a good job, or we are to blame the OSP for some bad doing. He can be extradited just in the next moment. We can get up from here and then we hear that Oforiatta is back in the country. So that has not affected.
Yes, because he doesn't have his freedom now. Oforiatta doesn't have his freedom now.
He's still in custody. Right. Mr. Razak, would it be too quick to judge?
To say that the OSP has failed or is a failure?
Or maybe we Ghanaians, we are too political when it even comes to corruption.
With the way things happened over the years, and the kind of mindset that Ghanaians had about these appointees, you see, we expected that by now there should have been conviction. And given that the office of the special prosecutor, you see, I stated the last time that the office of special prosecutor, what they simply do is post-regime accountability. They don't do regime accountability, and that's my worry. That when you are in office, you will never hear that office of special prosecutor is prosecuting a member of the government. You will never hear that. The only thing you hear is that when they are out of office, then he's now chasing the appointees of the the exited or the government that has just left office. So I feel that the office was meant for both criminals in either ruling government or the opposition government. And so, given that the OSP has not performed to that, satisfaction of mine, I think he has failed already. He has failed to the extent that he's not able to prosecute members of ruling government. Rather, he's always running after members of the opposition party. It hasn't served the purpose for which the office was created. So I believe he has failed already.
He has failed already.
Exactly.
Right. You see, if you say that, then I will find fault in you. We all saw the allegations that were raised against our first national chairman and then the national organizer, that's Joseph Yamin and then Abanga, on this Galamsey issue. We all saw it. They were referred to the OSP to investigate.
So what has happened?
Hold on.
We've seen even members of parliament being referred to committees in parliament on this issue of Galamsey. Honorable Collins Dawuda and one other member of parliament, Atiwa MC, Atiwa West MC, all involved in Galamsey. What is happening?
You see, when you are speaking, I give you the opportunity to speak.
No, you are trying to mislead the
public. So you allow me to make my point when I'm also speaking. I can equally distract you, but I don't think that is the way you want us to go.
Right, let's proceed.
Yes. So as I was saying, when you say the OSP does not take issues of government appointees as incumbents, it is total lie. If it happened in your government, fine. But this time around, it is not happening because we are resetting, and we've seen an example of that. So if the OSP is trying to get Oforiate's case, please let's not try to make stance out of it. You've made your stance very known, and we appreciate that so well. But don't try to change it now for me to see you some way.
Right. So on the issue of Ken Oforiatta, as and when new developments come with this particular case, we'll still bring you the issues. Right. So away from politics, let's look at the world of medicine. And how would I say it? Right. So NACOG to roll out licensing regime for medicinal industrial cannabis cultivation. I'm really concerned about this issue. That is why I intentionally so the Narcotic Control Commission says it will soon begin implementing Ghana's licensing framework for the cultivation of medicinal and industrial cannabis, following Parliament's approval of the regulatory and cost structure. So Ghana is about to legalize all this whole thing, and I think they gave a threshold of 0.3%, typically used for industrial purposes such as fiber production, cosmetic, and certain medicinal applications. And it's going to come with strict rules and regulation. But looking at our country that we abuse everything, do you think that legally and institutionally we're actually ready to go on this tangent?
This has been a conversation that has popped up, and then as socialist as I am, I actually have a keen interest in it.
Right.
You see, trying to criminalize the use of cannabis in this modern world, I think doesn't speak well of us as a country.
Criminalizes,
yes,
rather?
Because that was it before. The use of it, and then
it was a criminal act.
Yes,
if
it
you
was
are
a
caught,
criminal. Yes, it was a criminal act, and I don't think economically it settles well. There is a need for us to take advantage of some of the things we produce, and then look at how important and then how they are being appreciated and then accepted in the world. Today, cannabis we know has a lot of benefits. Has so much benefit. Aside the abuse of it, there's
a bit of it.
But the way and manner we use it, and the better say adena we use to know about how I drink and I say you get what I'm saying? Today you see the youth abusing weed and then smoking all over, and then it tend to to deteriorate their stature. That is why we see the Ministry of Youth Development launch a program called Red Means Stop. Where and this cannabis is being used to produce some of these products, and they are not being used for their purpose. One, cannabis, we all know, is very good for relaxation. It calms your nerves. There are people that have sickness like romanticisms and all those things, and when they use cannabis, trust me, it calms their nerve and then relieve them of pains. So these are the tangents that we are going to use, we are going to see. And then for industrial purposes, I'm sure that this one way or the other is going to contribute greatly to our economy and then our GDP. Looking at the fact that the benefit of it is worldwide and not just locally alone, and the fact that it is going to be monitored. And because Ghanaians there, immediately they give us free, then we add them. Immediately they give us free, then we add them. The fact that it is going to be monitored. So if you are producing it for industrial purposes, or you are farming it for industrial purposes, strictly for industrial purposes and not for the opposite side. And I like the fact that they are going to put mechanism in place to monitor that this is going to be done. And the fact that parliamentary approval has been given on it gives it a very solid stand. Clearly shows that as and like it can be the act can be improved upon. You understand me? So I think it is a step in the right direction. I will not condone it, but mine is that the monitoring should be there. The monitoring should be there. They should make sure that the registration process and whatever document that people are going to produce and reasons for their production should be strictly adhered to, and not the opposite side. Because Ghanaians, what we know how to do very well is to bring up nice policies and not monitor their progress or how they are going to perform. There are times that we bring up policies and the implementation become a problem. It then now to look like the policy is now controlling us. And this has been something that has been happening illegally, and the country is gaining nothing from it. So now that the country has decided to legalize it and then gain something from it, I'm sure it is very good, and we should all applaud the narcotic how do you call it, commission on that. Yes.
On board. Mr. Zaki, talk.
Okay, thank you very much. So on the issue of cannabis, I think that using it to support in the manufacturing of medicines and all of that. On that, the idea alone is a great one.
It's a great one.
But you see, this country, one of the problems we face is how to implement our laws. We make very beautiful laws,
nice ones,
but implementation has always been the problem.
Enforcing it is a problem.
Enforcing it is a problem. So you see, on the surface of it, it's a nice one, but we have instances where a CEO or somebody will sit there, abuse the office, and then get to export things that ordinarily, when you take it beyond the recommended period, is going to give you problems. For example, the last time I saw a report from Fort Estate where nurses are conniving with doctors to exploit patients at Rich Hospital. It was a very sad development, that the people that were going to even put in office, they are the people that will abuse their office. They are the people that will cause all this, misappropriation of, public funds and, irregularities in the sector. So I welcome the idea very well, but I'm only worried about how we are going to implement it.
How we are going to implement it.
Yeah, given that, some of these drugs, when you use it, or when you use it beyond the recommended period, then it begins to give you problems. That is why, you see, ordinarily drugs are not that harmful, just like the red we talk about all the time. Tramadol,
but if you overuse it,
yes. So when you take just a piece of it, you are not going to feel like the way we see it. But if you begin to use it more than the recommended period, then even paracetamol, if you take paracetamol more than the recommended period, the recommended percentage, you are going to feel problems. You get problems with it.
Right.
So cannabis ordinarily should not be a problem, but it depends on how we use it. So the regulation and the monitoring should be something that government should take keen interest in, so that you have the right people at the place to ensure that there's no abuse of office and there's no misuse of these offices to personal gains. Because I know that people will hide behind the office to do things that will generate income for them.
Right.
Which is not right.
Right. But who is going to be the actual benefactor of this particular? Would it be the farmers or the government as well?
I think
or
both.
Both
it is both parties. Both parties, because you, the farmer, now have a legal backing of whatever produce that you are producing. You understand me? And then again, being regulated by the country, there is a ready market for you. That you are going to sell your product. It wouldn't be the previous thing where it is illegal and then you cannot. Right. So I think the farmer is going to have the freedom to farm now, and also have a regulation to it and have a ready market to sell, of which the country is also going to gain something from it.
I fear that people will start farming it without license.
Yeah, because you are supposed to get a license.
Oh yes. That is why we are looking at we are pressing hard on the monitoring, because there is a need for the commission to put proper mechanisms in place and make sure that
they measure the percentage.
Yes, and not even the percentage alone, because now that it has been legalized, people are now going to farm. And they will not even look for the license, as my brother is saying. You get me? And it's just going to be a handful of people. Only those that are going to produce in large quantity. But as for the 1 acre, 2 acre, half acre people there, they will just
right. Do you see it giving jobs to people too?
Certainly, because now that it has been legalized, meaning it can be produced in large scales. And this call for employment.
Even the factories are going to run the production.
Yes, and this is going to call for employment.
Right.
And
do you see us as a country also exporting as well? Or
depends on what we are producing with it too.
Oh yes, I think this it is cannabis. I know is being exported from Ghana. Very well. Yes, I know.
Are we a large exporter?
Oh yes, not. Come again. The raw. The raw material is being exported out of Ghana, but not in. You don't have so many people having licenses over that. I think it is left in the hands of the government to do that. So even if you have it, the government has the exporting rights.
Does that mean there's already some form of regulation?
Oh yes, because I remember some time ago the news popped up that it has been legalized.
Yes,
it has been legalized in our hospitals, and they are being used for medicinal purposes. But now that industrialization has been added, I think it is going to boost our GDP, create more employment, and then
generate more revenue
more revenue for the government too.
Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Before I take leave of you, we have some comments on Facebook. This is from Baumia Cyril. Great job, Abdul Razak. Great submission, Razak. And this is from Gabi Kweku. Gausu Zamani, your submission are making more sense. So these are some comments from our online audience. Right, before we leave, your last words, please.
Okay, so I want to use the opportunity to thank you and the entire GhanaTalks radio team. I also extend my thanks to those who have followed us both on online and on radio. We thank you very much for following us through this journey. I extend my greetings to my people in Yagbokboro constituency too, a very lovely people, and my member of parliament, Mustafa Yusuf, former minister for youth and sports, and the entire NPP in the Yagbokboro constituency. It's good having you in the party, and it's been great so far. I mean, the party has done a lot for the people, and I want to extend my greetings to them and the party as well. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Right, Mrs. Zamani.
All right. I want to say a very big thank you to GhanaTalk Radio for giving us the opportunity to always contribute our quota to national development, and then the viewers that are watching us and then giving us their comments and then motivating us. We want them to know that the NDC is on a path of resetting Ghana. And for that matter, most of the decisions that we are going to take is not going to be that of the ordinary ones. But as disciplined as we are, you see, so some of the decisions that we are going to take is not going to be the ordinary one that you see, but the vigorous ones that is going to see the country move on the right direction in the long run. As for short-term benefit there, I don't think we all will like it, but something that will make the country look good in the long run. Aside that, I want to greet my grandmother, Grandma Cecilia, that is watching me. So she's watching me as I'm speaking to you now. I think the grandchildren call her sister. Most of them call her sister. She's watching me this morning. I want to say a very big good morning to her. Trust me, when she's watching the show, she gives her own comment, but just that she doesn't want to type. She doesn't want to type it in the comment. She doesn't want to type it in the comment section.
Encourage her to type it.
And she just sent me message on some rebuttals to my brothers. Grandma is giving me some tips for my brother, but
grandma.
I just decided to hold on that, but. I want to say a very big thank you to her, and then greet the people of German North and then the people of Koleklote. So I think yes, that will be it for me.
Thank you, Grandma Cecilia. Thank you. We are waiting for your comments. Please drop your comments in the comment section. Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And thank you to our online audience. Thank you for joining us. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Thank you. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.